Happy Monday.
What is up, everybody? How's it going? How is it going? Man, Monday.
Time for that VODCast.
Yeah, I tell you, the only good thing about this Monday, I was looking forward to the podcast. It's the only good thing.
And we definitely have lots to discuss this week.
Yeah, should be a cool recap. I'm excited.
Oh yeah. Yeah, a couple big things going on. Big things.
Let's see here.
So how was your week?
Pretty good. Yeah, so we let's see. Gosh. Gaming wise, played a little Apex. I did manage to try out the new Diablo 2, which we can talk about in a little while.
Very nice.
Yeah, haven't picked up anything. I helped my Rad Junk buddy, my guy with the game store. He's got like I feel like I've got a lot of stuff. He's got like a million times. So like stock of just broken consoles and things like that. We went through his warehouse and kind of organized. That was a good time. That was fun.
Wow.
It wasn't so much fun doing that as much as it was fun hanging out, right? so it was
Gotcha.
Sorry, it was good. But then that inspired me to get in my garage this past weekend, which was cool. I haven't been in the garage in a while. Got it kind of straightened up, at least on its way, I'll say. What's up, Hot Rod? Welcome in.
Yep. Oh, and hey, Just a Game Nerd. And yes, that was the longest intro ever.
It's my fault. It was 100% my fault. Pixel's ready to go, and I was like, oh wait, hold up.
No, I can't let you take all that. It's like I completely forgot my social media blast.
You gotta put it out there. Nice seasonings in the closet. That's awesome, dude. I have this cabinet in the kitchen, and it started with my wife, and it was her cabinet, and then it turned into like my barbecue seasonings and grilling. Just it's awesome. I love finding new seasonings at the store. It's always a good time. Let's see. What about you? How was your week/weekend/ everything?
Not too bad. We did some gaming. We played through a few Super Nintendo games, which actually sets us up for one of our first topics later on here.
Coincidentally.
Yeah, being the Super Nintendo. But yeah. We completed some SNES games, and in the other side of things, in the IRL, for those of you, pretty much everyone knows I work at a school. It is time where the season's getting back in. We had our first in-service days today, and oh my gosh, am I tired.
Back to school. That's awesome. That is awesome.
Back to school. This summer just flew by.
It really did. It was too short. Short. We needed a longer summer, I think. Ours was really short down here too.
Yeah, it's amazing how it just flies by. It's like I remember as a kid, it's like summer seemed to actually last forever.
Right.
When we were young.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I think there for a while it was 2 or 3 months, right? I mean, felt like it was a decent amount, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
It's still on average around what? I
think ours this year was like 6 weeks. I don't even think we had 6 full weeks.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they made ours really short this year. It was crazy.
But we seem to average right around between 2.5 months.
Oh, right. Yeah,
on average up here.
Yeah, that's the way I remember it. 7 weeks. Okay, it was 7 weeks for us. So that's not too bad, but still, yeah, a lot shorter than normal. I feel like it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, you were right. Just a Game Nerd. Definitely gets shorter and shorter the older you get.
Yeah, right. No kidding. Yeah,
especially when you're trying to get projects done.
Right. And when you wake up to go to work and everyone is at the house sleeping, you're like, "Where's my summer?" Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Like, come on now. It's good though. It's good. And that's another thing down here in Florida. Whew, man, I'm done with the heat. They can keep it.
Oh yeah.
I'm ready for some fall temperature. That's what we were talking about earlier. Like, and I was telling the missus, man, this time of year, like the kids going back to school, it's like the beginning of video game season. Like I'm stoked for all the stuff coming out towards the end of the year
Mhm.
and it cooling off. And I do like working out in the garage and doing projects and stuff like that. So um, that's fun too. That's gonna be a good time. So I'm looking forward to it cooling off and getting back in the swing of things.
Mhm.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
you hey, Randick. Oh yeah, let me guess. You feel bad for her because of the lack of AC
Oh jeez.
with the humidity and the hot weather we're getting. Yeah, it's crazy up here.
Oh, I couldn't imagine.
I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, you have it pretty bad down south, but
Yeah. We're used to it at least. I mean,
exactly for
yeah.
us, it's like it hits these temperatures, and we're like, oh my gosh, everyone's melting.
Like no way. Yeah,
Yep.
I've actually got a split unit air conditioner in my garage, just to make it tolerable, and it's actually not working right now. I'm having someone come look at it this week, which is wonderful.
Mhm.
So, yeah, it was a little warm out there this weekend, and then right before we started, we had like a torrential thundercloud. It was going nuts here there for a little bit, so that was awesome.
Oh wow.
It's been nuts, but yeah, no, I can't think. I no pickups or anything crazy. Not recently. Uh, yeah, just little projects around the house. So it's been good. It's
Nice,
been good.
nice.
Yeah, not bad. But like you said, it is today, which is pretty awesome. Is like,
Mhm.
hey, Scotty, what's up? Yeah, I'm doing awesome.
Actually, I'm
Feeling
gonna move
good.
my camera here.
Oh,
Ugh.
perfect. I
Yeah, nothing like midstream,
Oh,
be
that's
like, let me
good.
move my
Oh yeah,
camera over.
just adjust it. This is like that behind the scenes
Yes,
streaming. You're just like, this is what really happens when the camera's cut
exactly.
on or whatever. Plus, I'm absolutely making a clip of your face trying to look at your screen and adjust your camera at the same time. That was
Oh, actually, my
hilarious.
screen is like straight on.
Oh, you always get that look like you're trying to, like it.
Yep.
I think it looks great. Yeah, I know. It's the hand was solid. It was good.
Yeah. Hey, yep, extra bonus
Hey, yeah,
content
that's
there.
right. Bonus content. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's it's when the paparazzi come around, you get like no pictures, no pictures, right?
Hmm.
But yeah. So
Yep.
today happens to be, which of course we planned it this way, the 30th birthday of the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Pretty exciting stuff. Like I I um I didn't even realize until just a little before we started. I was really really surprised that was actually today. It's pretty cool.
Hmm.
Crazy to think 30 years ago, man. That's
Oh
nuts.
yeah.
Did you have a Super Nintendo when it first came out?
I did not have one at launch.
Neither
I
did
was
I. Yeah.
not so lucky.
Neither
Man,
did
I,
I.
I, I completely messed this up.
What's interesting? Oh, it's cool. What's interesting is
There we go.
a lot of people didn't. I think a lot of parents of kids that had Nintendos were like, I just bought this Nintendo and all these games. Like, I'm not doing this all over
Hmm.
again. I don't think it was well
Right.
received in the beginning. Like it's kind of a tall order.
Yeah, I got one, if I recall, I got one the following Christmas. Like obviously it came out 91.
Right, right.
So I want to say, if memory serves, I got one in 92 for Christmas.
Yeah, that probably seems about right. That seems about right. Yeah, because yeah. I think about the same for me because we were living in Germany at the time, and yeah, we ended up getting it. It was at least a year later, maybe even 2 years later. Um, awesome system though. Like
Oh yeah.
one of my favorites. Um, first system bought with your own money. That's awesome. The first system
Oh,
I
that
bought
is.
with my own money, I think, was PlayStation One.
That that
Um,
was mine as well.
yeah, yeah, that was the first one I went out and just got on my own. Um,
Yeah, I bought the PlayStation 1 when it was the full $300
oh
back in the
wow,
day. Like
wow,
when it was you could buy Ridge Racer,
yeah,
and that was like the only game that I remember buying at a Best Buy. It's the only
yeah.
game they had was Ridge
Oh
Racer.
wow. I think I got mine from Walmart back in the day. Gosh, that was a long time ago. Yeah, yeah, Randick, for sure. I think people were not they like now it's commonplace. Now, about
Mhm.
every 5 years you're gonna be seeing a new console, right? You're
Right.
going to be seeing new games every couple months, and then like your mega titles, once a year, every other 2 years. But man, back then it's kind of like, man, it was so weird. It's like, what do you mean Super Nintendo? We already have a Nintendo. What are you talking about?
Right.
Pretty
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Pretty nuts.
Yeah. It's like, and that's where, I mean, since it was such a thing like that, it's like I knew I wasn't going to get one right away. There,
Yeah.
even though I'm sure I asked for it as a kid.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. That's all. That's all
Yeah.
I want to be, the kid
But
like screaming.
but I always, but it's funny. It's like, oh, you always knew the kid who got that right away.
Right.
Like
Oh
went to
yeah.
lunch.
Yep.
I'm sure you had the friend that had
Oh
that right
yeah.
away too.
Yep.
Yep.
I was over at his house, and even though I wasn't a big fan of hanging out with him, I was still at his house playing the Super Nintendo. Like, well, that's
Yeah.
it's it,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
it was rough.
Oh yeah.
I did not get one. I'd say it was at least a year later, if not two. But it was definitely Christmas. I did
Mhm.
get Nintendo and Super Nintendo on Christmas, so
Yeah.
that was pretty good. Kind of a fun fact. The Super Nintendo didn't start, like, officially stop. Well, actually, Super Famicom, I think, didn't stop production until like 2003. So the Super Nintendo itself actually had a longer lifespan than the Nintendo 64 did, which I think is
Mhm.
funny. It's kind of crazy, but
That's a
um,
that's a telling
yeah,
statistic there.
yeah. No kidding. And we all know why. I think we all know why. I think we can all agree. Um, favorite Super Nintendo game, if you can narrow it down to one.
If you can narrow it down, oh man. I
Oh, other
mean,
than Goof Troop, because we all know how we love Goof Troop.
mhm. Oh yeah,
Everybody loves Goof
Goof
Troop.
Troop. And see, Goof Troop was fun.
It
I
was
enjoyed
cool.
Goof
It
Troop.
was
It's
cool.
I think we were just at a disadvantage because
Yeah,
we were trying to use some net play
yeah. It would have been nice to
functionality.
beat it, but it just no. There's no way with the lag wouldn't have worked.
See, that's what we'll do the first chance we have for a convention
Right. Right.
is one of us will bring a Super Nintendo
Yep.
and
Yep.
that'll be our thing.
Yep.
We'll do a playthrough of Goof Troop
I
live.
like it. I like it. That's awesome. That's awesome. Come
But
hang out at
yeah,
Twitch
I don't
time.
know. Like yeah, like favorite SNES game. I mean, see, going back to talking about first experience with them, before I actually got one. Yeah, exactly, Arandic. It was going to be Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. That game came out in November of '91, and that's around the time when my first exposure to Super Nintendo was um, friend of my family. Like I think it was more like my dad's friend. He was a big game he was always the computer games and everything like that. He bought the Super Nintendo
Yeah,
like right away,
that's
and he
awesome.
bought like this game, like, and he would actually bring it over when they would go, do computer stuff or like he's going to work. He actually would bring it over to the house and let me play it.
Nice.
And like right out of the gate, first time he brought it over, it was like Super Mario World, Link to the Past, Smart Ball, I want to say Final Fantasy Mystic Quest,
Yeah,
Pilot Wings.
yeah,
I like
yeah.
he's just like, oh yeah, he kind of like how I was when I first got
Right.
my first job, where I'm like, oh, I can buy my games now.
Yeah, I can buy
So,
whatever I
so
want. This is awesome.
exactly. So you just start collecting games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So,
cool.
but yeah, Link to the Past, that was my first, that and Super Mario World were my first
Right,
experience with the Super
right.
Nintendo. And I think Link to the Past, even through the whole life of Super Nintendo, I'd say that's probably my favorite.
Yeah,
I would say that's my number one with Donkey Kong. Arandic knows me all too
yeah,
well.
yeah,
It that's probably a close second.
yeah. Donkey Kong Countries were good. They were awesome.
Hmm.
Um, I'm Linked to the Past for sure, 100%. In fact, I
Hmm.
pulled it out. I pulled it out and looked at it earlier.
Nice.
I
You planned it.
yeah, I loved it. In fact, I'll still say I still think this is my favorite Zelda game. Um, and
I still say it's the best Zelda.
yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Not, o- not only are you your personal favorite, but I think there's argument that it is the best Zelda
Yeah, I really do. I
because of
agree.
what it introduced.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. It kind of set the stage for all the
Hmm.
Zeldas we have. I
Right.
loved it. I loved that Zelda. It was the one for me. I liked Mario Kart too. Mario Kart was yes, SNES was the first
Yep.
Mario Kart. And I liked it. It was a really
Oh
good
yeah.
time getting together. Um, I like the battle mode. That was always fun.
Oh yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I love the
The,
battle mode. Like that was really cool. Cause like
I
I
think
mean I liked
that
racing games, but
play
yeah, yeah,
in
yeah.
the races.
Yeah. I had I even today, I like racing games, but I really I love the battle mode. That was awesome.
Hmm.
Um, Super Metroid I thought was pretty good. The Mega Mans on Super Nintendo were pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they were pretty awesome. Yeah, oh yeah, the battle mode was just awesome. Popping that balloon when you're flying by, like, yep, got him, got him. Yeah, and I did like the Donkey Kongs. Donkey Kongs were great. Super Mario World was cool. Gosh, Castlevania. There were just so many good games. Even Contra 3 was pretty good.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
it
They
has like so many good games.
they knew exactly what they were doing with the NES titles, the properties that worked,
Oh yeah.
and they're like we're just going to give them quite literally a super upgrade
Yeah, yeah.
and
Absolutely.
give you titles that are just through the roof improved.
Right,
Like,
right. Yeah, I just yeah, Mario All-Stars was really cool. I uh
mhm.
I did like it was neat seeing the games updated a bit. That was pretty awesome.
Oh
Um
yeah.
Yeah, I keep going back to Link to the Past. There were some off games too that were like Bebe's Kids. I remember Bebe's
Oh
Kids
my
from
gosh,
from
baby.
back then. Oh my goodness, man! The game was awesome. It was funny. It was a good playthrough. But
So then, okay, talking like, okay, base kids. What were some of like your off, not the ones you necessarily own, but those off the wall rentals
oh my
that
gosh,
you've done? Because I've rented, I remember renting some crazy games for the Super
yeah,
Nintendo
yeah. Um, man,
back in the
I
days of rentals.
yeah, no kidding. I remember it's not too off the wall, but I rented Wing Commander for Super Nintendo, which was interesting.
Oh wow,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was
I,
kind of interesting.
I don't think I knew that was on Super
Yeah.
Nintendo.
Yep, yep. I think
Oh
I
wow.
have it. I think I've got it. I don't know. I think I've got it, but then getting it on the PlayStation was like so much better. Like it was
Oh
awesome.
yeah.
Um but yeah, no, it was yeah, I'm pretty sure it was on Super Nintendo. Maybe it wasn't. No, I'm pretty sure it was. Now I have to look. But yeah, yeah. It was very intriguing. It pulled me in. Um there were some other games that were kind of crazy, but I don't know, it seemed like we were in Germany, right? So we didn't like there wasn't really like a rental place for us until I got back. And
Gotcha.
by the time I got back, a lot of those games were old. But I do remember renting Wing Commander. That was probably the most one that but at the same time we did get to pick up a lot of the games like from the BX and stuff over there. So that was fun. That was cool.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
What about you? What
I would say the
obscure titles?
most off the wall, and this was because the one rental store near us, it was one of those stores where not only could you rent the games, but they actually had where you can rent the systems and the consoles. So like your parents or whatever would have to put like $20, like collateral kind of thing, and
Right, right,
then you pay whatever the rental was for the weekend.
right.
Well, they also did it with accessories, and it was the Super Scope
Oh, nice,
and
nice.
the Super Scope 6
Yeah, yeah,
cartridge.
yeah, yeah,
It was fun, but
yeah,
boy, was it awkward the fact
yeah.
that it was like a
Yeah, like the
like a
weird
rocket launcher you put on
bazooka
your
kind
shoulder.
of. Yeah, right,
Yeah,
right.
because your fire buttons were literally like, yeah,
Yep.
it was different.
There was,
They were fun games, and
yeah,
not it was actually oddly accurate
yeah. It
as
was
far
really
as
good.
the Lycan mechanics go.
It was really good. Um, I've got it. I've still got mine. What's there was like a mech warrior game. It was like
Oh, Metal
metal
Storm.
Metal Storm. Metal
Yeah,
Storm.
Metal
Yes.
Storm.
Dude, that was a great game. That was a lot of fun,
Hmm.
man. A lot of stuff going crazy. That was a good time. That was fun.
And then the other
Um,
Super Scope one was Yoshi's Safari.
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I've never actually played that one. I've only seen it.
yeah. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. We
Yeah,
should
another
fire
Super
that up
Scope
one day.
game.
Figure out how to hook up the Super Scope, get a TV set up over here or something. But
Yeah, do a Super Scope stream.
yeah, right. That'd be cool.
This is the week to do it.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, right. Yeah, absolutely. The first system, it's funny you talk about renting systems. That's how I
Mhm.
got introduced to Sega CD. Was we
Oh
rented the
wow,
Sega CD with the Model 2 Genesis. And
nice.
yeah, that was fun. That was pretty crazy. Um it was
Yeah, the
fun
days
back
of the
then.
rental stores.
Yeah, I know, man. I miss them. I miss them for
Hmm.
sure.
So let's see. Just a Gamer says, remember your biggest disappointment for SNES?
Oh.
Hmm. I, mine's a simple one, and I'm sure mine's not really a surprise. The first Mortal Kombat was kind
Yeah.
of a downer.
Yeah. Yeah, being on Super Nintendo and they changed it the way they did. I never
Yeah,
really
the
liked fighting games on console. I don't know. It was
no
always
now
it was weird.
and I think what extra stung was because what they did to Mortal Kombat, obviously because of the violent nature with the blood, but knowing that it could have been a solid fighting game because Street Fighter 2 on
Yeah,
the Super Nintendo
yeah,
was phenomenal.
yeah. It did great. Yeah, for sure, for sure. I think it was. I want to say it was Super Metroid. No, I know what it was. Super Ghosts and Goblins. That game
Oh,
was
okay.
stupid hard. Like I liked the game. I loved it. I loved Ghosts and Goblins on the NES, but that game was stupid hard on Super Nintendo. In fact, to this day, I don't know if I've ever beaten it. The game was so difficult for me. I could never be. I remember getting very frustrated with it. Great game. I got super frustrated with it. I think Super Metroid was kind of the same way, but I did end up beating Super Metroid.
Mhm.
Um, what about Super Game Boy? Did you ever mess with anything like that?
I never had one. My neighbor did,
Yeah.
and I mean, I had a Game Boy.
Right,
Oddly
right.
enough, oddly enough, my neighbor didn't have a Game Boy, but he had a Super
Interesting.
Game Boy.
Had the Super Game Boy.
So
Wow.
it was kind of an odd situation there.
Yeah, yeah.
But this was also the one who pretty much just got stuff when he wanted stuff.
Nice, nice,
So he
nice.
showed interest in Super Game Boy, and all of a sudden he now owns a Super Game Boy.
That's hilarious. It would have been for me it would have been like my mom and dad saw like Super Game Boy for $20 instead of $40 and they were like, "Oh, here's your Super Game Boy game." It was cheaper, you
Mhm.
know.
Yep. But
Game Boy
yeah,
was your first. That's awesome.
so I got to play, some of my Game Boy games. I've taken over there and we played them
Sure.
and stuff.
Sure.
And it was kind of weird. It was kind of
Yeah.
weird to play
Yeah.
what was previously your handheld on a
Right.
television.
I never got it. I was always kind of like, I don't know.
Mhm.
It wasn't a thing for me. Um, even the GameCube one with the Game Boy Advance games was never. I don't know. Like that's what the handhelds are for, you know. Yeah.
Right, right,
But yeah,
right.
saved up all summer for that Game Boy. We've still got that Game Boy. Army Mike, we're celebrating the 30th birthday of the Super Nintendo. Talking about our favorite games and our not so favorite games and whatnot. Welcome in, buddy.
Mhm.
Welcome in.
So just to regale with more, stories of when, the beginning of the Super Nintendo with my one friend, when he bought with his own money, he had a one of those giant like pop bottles that was stood about 3 feet tall that people put coins in. Like the big coin banks like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And I remember when the Super Nintendo, like, I don't know, this was probably the spring afterwards. It was still before I got mine. And I remember he ended up cutting his open. And I remember helping him count all his change,
Oh wow.
rolling all his coins and stuff. And he ended up buying a Super Nintendo and Street Fighter 2.
That's
And
awesome.
from Toys R Us in the days when it was take the paper slip out of the sleeve,
Nice.
take it up to the cash register, and then you had to go to the game, like the game room where there was a person in a window
Yeah, yeah.
doing the game for you.
Wow, that's
And
awesome.
always remember as a young kid, it's like I used to hold on to the slips for games I wanted and like just take the slips. So I was screwing with their inventory something fierce. Since you figure
Jeez.
they only had so many papers out.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
But I remember though this was, I don't know if it was Toys R Us charging whatever they wanted, but I remember Street Fighter 2 being $72
Wow,
back then.
that's crazy.
And I don't know if that was the MSRP of it
I
or if
don't,
that was
I
Toys R
don't,
Us tax.
I don't think so. Toys R Us was always more expensive for sure.
Right.
Um, Shane and Tyler, what's up? Welcome in, guys. We're talking
Hey
about
guys.
the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Its 30th birthday
Mm-hmm.
today. It's
Not
a young pup, but
the yep, Super Nintendo Entertainment System, the Super NES, the Super Nintendo, but
yeah,
not the SNES.
not the
Not
SNES.
the SNES.
Yeah,
It is
no one ever
not,
goes SNES. I don't know.
yeah, not the SNES.
Sometimes I'm like, hey, you got any you got a SNES? You got, and people are like, what? What did you just say to me? What did you say
Yeah,
to
it's like
me?
instant fighting words. Not, it's
Man,
not the
yeah,
SNES.
right, no doubt. I'll tell you, mentioned it earlier, but the Ninja Turtle games were pretty good on Super Nintendo. That was a good call. Um, and I liked the X-Men games, and Captain America was on there. That was pretty good. A couple of good beat 'em
Oh yeah, and
ups.
then we had like Maximum Carnage,
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
yeah. I I feel like consoles, they, and I don't know, maybe it was just because of the games you had available or whatever, but like consoles became known. Like PlayStation 1 is like known for RPGs, right? I feel like there were some good beat 'em ups on the Super Nintendo. I feel like
Oh
it
yeah.
was a good, not to say there weren't great other games, but just yeah, it's just in my mind. I think beat 'em ups. And then when I think about like Turbo Graphics, or when I think about even the Genesis to an extent, I think about shmups, and I'm like, yeah, like it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of it's weird how they that sort of like burns into your brain that way, I guess, So
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
And yeah, and it was also, you figure that was the dawn of Madden
Yeah, right.
in
Right.
NFL.
Right.
I remember, for those who don't know, Arandic and I grew up together, and I remember us playing Madden all the time on the
Oh, yeah.
SNES.
Since he doesn't have a
That
voice
takes me
right now,
back.
you whooped up on him, didn't you? You put it to him, huh? Yeah. Yeah.
I don't actually remember I don't remember who was good on that or not.
Oh,
But
that's
you
funny.
but back in the day too, you used to, I don't know if you could still do it or not. Well, this is how often I play two-player Madden with anybody. I remember being able to be on the same team
Yeah. Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
Super Nintendo.
Yep. Having to
And there were
catch, and
times where
yeah.
one of us would
Right.
be the quarterback, the other one would be the receiver.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, that's I do remember that. That's crazy. That's
Oh
nuts.
yeah.
Um okay, so I got kind of something fun. I got a couple, just a couple. I think it's five.
All
Five
right.
little Super Nintendo trivia questions. Um, some are going to be kind of easy, some are a little obscure. So, chat, if you guys want to get in, 100% totally get in. But you can't Google it. We got to use integrity. No Google. Nobody use the Googles. But
Mhm.
it's pretty good. They're pretty good questions. So, Super Nintendo trivia. Question number one. So, which console sold more, the Super Nintendo or the Nintendo?
I I would think Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo says everybody. The missus says Nintendo. Okay, okay. Anybody else? Mike says Super Nintendo. Okay, okay.
And for those of you, it's
Wow.
only 24 knows the answer to this because
Yeah,
I don't have these
yeah,
notes. So
I did
so I'm
this
guessing with you.
without Pixel's knowledge. So funny story. Yeah, and I didn't share with the missus. Didn't tell anybody. It was actually the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Wow.
And it was not by a small margin. It was by like 20 million copies. Like 20 million consoles more did the Nintendo sell than the Super Nintendo. Yeah, that's true. I think it does go back to the parents and not wanting to spend the money again, right after. Well, there's a question. How many consoles, Super Nintendo consoles, do you think were sold worldwide? That would include Super Famicom, Super Nintendo, all of them.
Gosh, I couldn't even guess. I am terrible with sales numbers.
I'm the same way. I was actually shocked.
I probably wouldn't even land in the ballpark because I don't know what the ballpark would
Right,
be.
right. I was surprised at the number. The Super Nintendo console sold 49.1 million. 49 million. The NES sold 61 million.
Wow.
Can you believe it? It's completely insane.
750,000.
750,000, right? Okay, so those are kind of the tougher ones. All right, so what popular actor was in the North American Super Nintendo TV commercial?
Oh, I know that one. I'll let chat see it.
You'll let chat? Yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
Before you say the answer, I'll say it.
Yeah, nice. Ooh, I don't know if they were a producer. I don't
No, I think it was.
think so.
I think they were simply an
Nope,
actor.
just an actor
in
just,
one of the ads.
Just an actor in the ad. What popular actor was in the North American Super Nintendo TV commercial? Kind of the initial TV commercial for the system, for the console when it first came out. Yeah, I figured the missus would know. It's funny.
I could give a hint. He doesn't age.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's pretty good.
He barely ages.
Yeah, that's true. This is true. Yeah, it's a tough one, Tyler. It's nice, Mrs. 24. Well played. No, wasn't Arnold. Wasn't Arnold. That's a good guess though. He was definitely popular at the time. That's solid. That's solid. All right, give it to him, Pixel.
All right, Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd, ladies and gentlemen, a young Paul Rudd, young Ant-Man was out there doing his thing on the Super Nintendo. It was pretty awesome.
Yep.
And that was probably around the Clueless. When did Clueless come out? That would have
Clueless was like 94.
Oh, that was later then. Man, he did. It's funny. He looks young.
94, 95.
He looks young in the commercial, but he does look pretty much exactly the same.
Right.
It's pretty nuts. Yeah, Paul Rudd sitting there jamming on that, and it kind of looked like he was actually playing. I hope he was. Yeah, he doesn't. He really, really doesn't.
He seems like someone who'd be a gamer.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Playing. He probably was playing.
That's the fountain of youth is video games. Okay,
yeah.
All right. Question number 4. This is probably the toughest one out of all of them. So if anybody gets this, there's going to be a prize. I don't know what the prize is, but this is going to be impressive. Who designed the North American Super Nintendo, the console itself?
Well, I'm not winning any prizes today.
This is a tough one. This is really a tough one. I knew a fun fact about the individual, but I didn't know the individual's name. Some guy. Yeah, it is some guy actually. Well played, sir. Well played.
Yep.
The individual's name. You did know it. That was impressive. Some dude from California. That is true. That he is from California. Wow, that's not bad. It's impressive.
Slowly narrow it down.
The individual's name. Yeah. We're down to like a couple 100 million people. No big deal. Yeah. Yeah. It's like Guess Who or something. His name was Lance Barr. The cool thing about him is he also designed the Nintendo. Like he was the guy that took the Japanese versions of the consoles and converted them to something that Americans would be more into. Um, like the if you look at the Nintendo cartridge, it's larger than it has to be. They assumed the
Mhm.
Americans wanted that VCR feel, that Betamax kind of,
Right.
you know, the bigger was more valuable, more expensive. So
The
he
the
ca-
the, the and the standard US of the bigger is better.
yeah, right,
The
right,
it
right.
just yeah.
Yeah, he came up with that concept. It was pretty impressive. Yeah, I know you kill it on the Sega trivia. You'd be schooling me, Tyler. Okay, so last one, and this is kind of fun. So, why was the Super Nintendo and Super Famicom designed to have uneven surfaces?
Hmm. You got some good trivia questions.
Yeah, yeah, this one was a
These are
great
s-
one. This was a
these are
good
some
one.
good ones.
This one was solid.
Yeah, I haven't a clue.
So they wouldn't be slippery. Not bad. Not bad. Not too bad. Mike, Bill Gates would have been good if he worked for Nintendo. That's solid. Yeah. Why was the Super Nintendo and Super Famicom designed to have uneven edges to repel dust? That's a good one. That's a good one. Still not correct, but that's a good shot. Yeah, that's a really good guess. That's a good one. This one will probably shock you a little bit. Um, it's hmm, it's a rough one.
Huh,
So
I'm intrigued.
I give it. Yep. So Tyler, Army Mike, better airflow. Pretty close. Yes. So Tyler's pretty close. They wanted to make sure owners could not set their drinks on top of the console because that was the number one reason Nintendos were sent back for factory repair, was because owners were putting drinks on top of the console and
Oh wow.
they'd spill on the console. Yep. It was one of the number one reasons Nintendo's got sent back for repair. Pretty crazy.
A good solution.
Yeah, right. So they made it with uneven surfaces, so you couldn't do that anymore. But, yep. So that was my trivia. Little
Oh, very
five
nice.
question trivia. You guys did pretty good. I'm impressed. You guys are
Yeah.
smarter than I am. Like
And
I had no clue.
I do have one more Super Nintendo game question here.
Exciting.
Is do you have a Super Nintendo game that you finally experienced in your adult life that you've never played or heard of as a kid that you enjoyed? Is there a gem that you found later in life?
Hmm. Later in life, I'll tell you.
Like something that you would have like you can't believe you didn't come across as a kid.
Let's think here. I did not play as a kid any of the Mega Man games on Super Nintendo. Yep, I did not play any of the Mega Man games until I was an adult and got them. Um, but yeah, those were it for me because I love them. Like they're great. They're great games, but I never
Mhm.
played them as a kid. Um,
Yeah,
Chrono
I
Trigger,
mean,
that's cool. Yeah.
yeah, the Mega Man X's are really good.
Oh yeah, I love them. I love them. It's funny. We played a lot of Bomberman and Super Bomberman. So there was this show when I was a kid in Germany. We got satellite TV from the UK, like Sky, right? So we had Sky One and Sky Two, and there was a game show that they had where they would play video games against each other. I have no clue what the name of the show was. I have no clue. I should research it, try to figure it out one day.
Hmm.
But they would always end playing Super Bomberman against each other. And Super Bomberman was huge over in Europe. Like it rivaled Mario, it rivaled Zelda. I mean, it was like the game.
Oh wow.
Everybody loved it. And so I actually did have um yeah, some of the Bomberman games for Super Nintendo. They were very prevalent over there. And they're fun too. I love them. I love playing them with a big group of people too. It's pretty awesome. Hey, what's up, Grim? How's it going? Yeah, Super Mario was awesome. It's fun with a big group of people too, and it's good.
Huh. Yeah, I don't have a lot of experience with Super Bomberman. or I mean, any of the Bombermans
Yeah,
for that
yeah.
matter. Like,
I
I've dabbled with them, like
yeah.
just to try them, but I've heard nothing but good.
They
I don't know.
I feel like they were funner with more people. Um,
Hmm.
I feel like they were funner with more people, but I that would be a good one to try remote play. Get a bunch of us and see if we could do some like four, because I want to say the I want to say you could play 8-player on the Super Nintendo with 2 four-ways with 2 multi-taps.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you could play 8-player Bomberman. So it's either Bomberman or Super Bomberman or Super Bomberman 2. One of them you could do 8 players, and it's pretty
Hmm.
cool. Just woke up, man. That's rough. That's whew, that's rough. But yeah, no, that's Super Nintendo. It was absolutely one of my favorite consoles. It was probably my last it was probably my last console as a kid. It was probably my last like cuz beyond that it was, we played other things. We got into PlayStation, we got into sports games, we got into it was definitely more, my last one as a kid is how I feel about it, I think. And I think it was my last one I got for Christmas. Uh all that stuff. Outside of being an adult, the wife's hooked me up plenty at Christmas, but you know,
Right. Yeah,
but
I was gonna
yeah,
say, yeah, I feel you for that, but it was the last, yeah, from your parents,
yeah,
like
right, right,
as a child. Yeah.
right. So I liked it. I think it was a great console. I think the titles, the library on it's just amazing.
Hmm.
It's a vast, just huge, great games. Collectability, I think it's really cool because there are expensive games, but there's also amazing, great quality games that are not expensive. You can get them pretty cheap. So I like it. I'm a big fan of Super
Oh yeah.
Nintendo.
And in my opinion too, they kind of perfected the controller
Oh
at that
yeah.
point
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
4 face buttons and 2 bumpers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's taken us into the future of where we are now with controllers.
Hmm.
They ended up taking a left with Nintendo 64, but and then working their way back through GameCube. But yeah,
Right.
but
But yeah, because I mean,
the,
you figure, yeah, Super Nintendo is pretty much the layout. Short of them, then they're like, okay, let's add analog
yeah,
sticks
yep, yep,
and a pair of triggers behind that,
yeah,
and there you have Xbox and you have
right,
PlayStation controllers.
exactly, yep. It's a trip. It's fun to yeah. Yeah. Straight side.
So,
They drifted kind of sideways. That's pretty
quite,
solid.
quite literally with their analog drift.
Well played. Well played. That's good. I like it. So in other interesting gaming news, so something that Army Mike will appreciate, and myself, you might not be as much of a fan, but that's okay. We got our new Call of Duty trailer for Vanguard, which looks pretty good. Looks like a World War II game. Other Call of Duty World War II games focused on, just a couple fronts. It seems like this is gonna be all over the place. Atlantic, Pacific, Europe, Africa. Like, I mean, it's gonna be all over the place. As a Call of Duty game comes out, it does look pretty good. Um, I'm not super excited though. I'm not like woo, can't wait. And that's saying something because I'm usually the guy that's like, oh, Call of Duty, here we go, woo. Not really
Mhm.
feeling it right now. They did promise through social media posting. They did promise a new Warzone map for their battle royale, which that would be nice. We'll see. And anti cheat, that would also be nice. One thing I found kind of interesting about the trailer is most of the time it's boom boom and you got your publishers, and yet there was zero Activision. There was not even an Activision logo this small down in the corner. There was nothing about Activision on any one of the screens that popped up, and I think that's pretty indicative of their legal troubles that they're going through right now.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, they're definitely distancing themselves from Activision completely. Raven Software is putting this out, which Raven is the reinventing of Infinity Ward. The leftover people from Infinity Ward
Mhm.
formed Raven, and then the people that left Infinity Ward when Activision took over started Respawn Entertainment. So, but yeah, I used to really follow the Call of Duty news. Used to really be into it, and it's worn me out, worn me thin. So we might still get it. I know Mike's gonna get it. It's interesting. They used to release a little bit later, and now they're getting back to that early November, um, like pre Veterans Day or with Veterans Day release. So we'll see. But Battlefield 2042 comes out in October, like October 22nd, I think it is. So if Battlefield's got my attention, we might just hold off on Call of Duty. We'll see what happens. Let's
Yeah.
see another shooter that's coming out. Halo. So Halo Infinite, they came out and they said that Halo Infinite is not going to have a co-op campaign at launch. That
Yeah.
bothers me. I can't believe that you wouldn't like.
That was something I was like. I'm not the biggest Halo fan, but I was excited to
Yeah,
play
we're
co-op.
we're all gonna get together
Yeah.
and like run through the campaign. It was gonna be awesome. Like I think me and Bagoom have played through like I think we've played through like every Halo campaign co-op,
Mhm.
and it's like, and they obviously they're saying that yeah it'll be there eventually, but
Right.
why is it not there at launch? Like what have you guys been working on? It's been a few years. Like we've had time. Um,
Now, won't have campaign co-op at launch, so but we're gonna have campaign.
right.
Or is there, or are they also gonna pull that away too?
It sounded like we're still gonna have campaign, but they weren't very clear on it either. So I'm
Because
like,
that's because I mean, you can't tell me if you have campaign, at least all Halo games of the past. Halo
right,
games of the past, it was co-op was literally still the mainline campaign.
right,
So
right.
whether you played solo or you had additional people.
Yeah. Yep.
So does like yeah, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
That
I don't get
so
it.
the structure's probably there if you're gonna have campaign at all.
Right. Right. If yeah, gosh, if they came out and said no campaign at all, that would be very disappointing.
Yeah, because I mean, because I don't know, like to me, and especially since we've just, we're gonna be getting into Gears of War 2 here
Yeah. Yeah.
sometime
Yeah. Yeah.
soon, but we
Right.
did Gears 1, and that'd be like them being like, oh, the next Gears, single player.
Right. Single player campaign. It's like, dude, like
Never
every
mind that you're
Gears has
still,
been yeah.
and you still have a crew of characters with you, but single player.
Right. They're just
Yeah.
stupid AI that like stands there while there's the world's blowing up. You're like, what should I do? You
Right.
good? Like
And
it's I don't
and
know.
Halo, yeah, I can't imagine you not having a squad with you in the game
It's very
already.
frustrating. I feel like this is continuing down that trend of uh publishers putting out incomplete games.
Yeah.
And it how have you managed to get all these features in every Halo before it, but this time no, and it was so passively released like hey just we're not gonna have that at launch, but who cares, right? It's cool. I'm like no, it's not cool. Like put out a full game, complete a game, put out a full game, right? Or don't put the game out. Like I don't know.
No, I mean, I guess there could be a an odd, interesting side to this, though. Obviously, still incomplete game, but is it possible that having the co-op for the campaign, because most of these campaign games is the campaign versus multiplayer. Campaign seems to usually have all the graphic flourishes,
Sure,
whereas the
sure,
multiplayer is usually a more streamlined to keep your frame rates up and all this stuff.
right?
Is it possible that maybe they're actually hitting some performance issues,
Yeah,
and they're
yeah,
and they're, and they're like, we can't release it in its form because the game doesn't run smooth with two
yeah,
players,
yeah.
which
Maybe.
which is kind of a shame considering Halo Infinite was originally being built for the previous Xbox.
Right. So you would think that it'd be more than capable. Um,
Right.
yeah, Mike. There was it was I want to say it was the World War II one that they did. I think had no campaign. Um, World War II had more like that. It was more like Destiny almost. It had that kind of like lobby where you queue into and do other things, but I think it was that one. But yeah, no campaign in that one too. It's kind of a bummer, you know?
Yeah, it's sadly becoming it's either you're going to get the game released, they're not going to call it um like early access, and they're just going to say, well, this will be a feature that we add later.
Right.
But then you're getting a lot of games lately that are doing early release or preview builds and whatnot,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
calling it a work in progress, but they're like, buy our game and we're going to keep working on it.
Yeah.
But there's games that seem to almost infinitely live in that bubble to where it's not complete yet.
Right.
And years have gone by and they're still like, oh, pre-release, we're still working on it.
Right. Right. Yeah. It's
It's a
just
shame.
it really is. It's
I've never bought a Super Nintendo game that
yeah.
was like, oh, well, you
Right.
have to wait and then you could buy the upgraded cartridge later.
Right. Yeah, it's I don't understand. I don't know. I
Hmm.
even like games that are taking out the campaign mode altogether. Like I don't think Halo's going to do that. You know, obviously we're eventually getting a Halo campaign mode, but like I don't know. Like I
Now, 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 here's a question. Is Halo Infinite going to be one of those $70 games?
yeah. Oh, I'm sure it is.
Being
Oh
being
yeah.
being next gen,
Oh yeah.
how they bump the prices up.
No, I'm sure. I'm sure. So now you're gonna have to pay $70 for no campaign. I mean, it'll be there eventually.
Right.
I like campaigns. I like story modes.
Yeah.
I enjoy um that playthrough. And I really like when the campaign plays into the multiplayer. Whether it gives
Hmm.
you unlocks or cosmetics or something, like I like that you can do something to achieve something in multiplayer. I
Hmm.
Yeah, it's a shame that they're sort of I don't know, seems like a lot of games are splitting them up, you
It,
know.
and I would say that would be the lack of co-op campaign. If I was purchasing that game, that would probably make me second guess purchasing it.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Now, now it being a Game Pass title,
Right. But honestly, I mean, I'll play the multiplayer. I was more looking forward to the co-op campaign than the multiplayer. I just
yeah.
I thought
See,
the
and
co-op campaign was gonna be awesome. You know, like
see, and that's where it's like I'm a campaign player.
mhm, mhm,
I don't. I mean, I'll do multiplayer for the social aspect occasionally, but
right.
I'm not going to grind hours in
Yeah,
multiplayer
yeah,
myself.
yeah, exactly. And that's right, Mike. It was Black Ops 4. They dropped the blackout mode. They dropped their that's right. I forgot about that. Um, yeah, I just it's a bummer. It's a bummer to me. I hope it comes along soon. But yeah, I'll be honest. I'm probably not gonna jump into it until the campaign comes out. Like it's just,
Hmm.
I don't know, just kind of where it was at.
Yeah, that's yeah. Hopefully it's something that's not. Hopefully by because what is the release for Halo Infinite? They gave a date. I
Yeah,
can't remember what the date
yeah, I
is.
can't remember either.
Hopefully by release they'll be able to say co-op coming at this date.
Right,
Now,
right,
if they can't tell you a time that it's coming when the
yeah,
game's officially releasing, that really takes a
right,
lot of my faith out of it.
right. Let's see. Does not
So
say.
that was kind of a downer topic. I'm kind of
Yeah, I
disappointed,
know.
but
I'm really bummed
yeah.
by that. I you know, I
I guess you know what? Maybe they feel that they have that wiggle room for the fact because well, it's Game Pass.
right, right.
Get Game Pass, you will eventually have co-op,
Yeah, most people aren't
and
gonna
you
buy
didn't
it
shell out the
anyway.
money.
Right. And
Yeah.
I hate that trend. I hate the direction that things are going in that regard. But um,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess in better, more happier news, The Amiga A500 Mini is announced. Did you have an Amiga?
I did not have an Amiga, and I didn't know anybody with an Amiga growing
Yeah,
up.
same here. Same here. Very, very obscure. I will say the people that are making this mini console are the same people that made the Commodore 64.
Hmm.
Um, so Amiga was like a little computer. It was more computer than video game console in my mind. Um,
Hmm.
some people might debate that, but yeah, it had a lot of your early, um, a lot of imagine NES style games, kind of like
Right.
that.
It, it
That
it was actually a pretty revolutionary computer
for sure.
to do those types of games.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
when the NES was the really the only dog in town
Right,
that was able to pull off some of the style.
right. The the Commodore 64 Mini is actually a really great console. Um,
Hmm.
Commodore didn't have the most amazing library. A lot of people play it. Yeah, I think
Hmm.
most people would rather play Nintendo unless there was a special place in your heart for like some of these consoles. But it was a really
Hmm.
good quality console. One thing about the Amiga, it comes with that retro square looking mouse with the squared buttons,
Oh,
the
cool.
the, the push up buttons. Yeah, it looks pretty awesome. And then it also comes with a controller that looks like the Amiga CD controller. Um,
Oh, yeah, I did see a
so
picture of that
yeah,
one.
so that'll
Yeah,
be that'll be interesting. That'll be kind of neat. The
yeah.
keyboard on it doesn't work. It would have been awesome if they'd have made it with a keyboard. Like so, the case is shaped like a keyboard, but it's non-functional. Um,
Mhm.
but that
But
would have been
yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah, it is cool though to see it's like first Commodore 64 Mini, now the Commodore Amiga Mini,
Right,
and
right.
yeah,
I will
it
say though that it's the price tag kind of hurts. $140 for a mini console, and it's supposed to have
yeah.
25 games on it, I think. So,
Now,
eh,
I guess the only thing is this one of those situations where they, as the manufacturer, are they leaving it open?
they did on I think the Commodore 64 was open.
Yeah, the Commodore
Um,
64 was incredibly easy to
yeah,
add library
yeah,
to it. So
yeah,
it, I could see the Amiga, the Commodore Amiga being that way
sure, sure,
to actually be a draw.
right.
I'm like I never had experience with Commodore Amiga as a kid, but due to that online arcade system, that Antstream that I've played,
Hmm,
they
hmm.
actually have a bunch of Amiga games on there.
Oh, very
So
cool.
I've gotten to play some Amiga games, and man, I would have loved that as a kid
Yeah, no
to be
kidding.
able to have access to an Amiga.
Right, right. Yeah, it's pretty neat. I can only imagine the original MSRP on that thing was probably nuts. Probably
Oh yeah,
Prob
because it was
probably
a
insane.
computer.
Yeah.
It was a straight up
Um,
computer.
I want to say I picked up a couple Commodore 64 minis when they were down to like $30
I know, and
from
I should have bought
GameStop.
one. I missed out
Yeah.
on it.
Oh man, I did pick it up. I've got an extra one. I'll send you one. I'll send you one. Because I picked up a bunch of them. I picked up so many for whatever they were $30. I was like, okay, I gotta do it. And
Let's hold on to it because we're gonna have a convention one of these days here
perfect,
where
perfect.
we'll all
Well,
join up,
oh, and we'll do it. We'll
including chat
do
and everybody.
Yeah, we'll do like a white elephant party. That'll be awesome. That'll be so good. That'll be awesome. Yeah,
Let's
this is
see.
true. Just a game nerd. In fact, I'm fairly certain that it's something very close to like a Raspberry Pi or something in there for sure.
The
But
Amiga 500, the original release in the US was 699 back then. So
oh
that's a bit.
wow,
That's a bit.
yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
And that
I
was
wasn't getting that as a kid.
1987.
Yeah, there's no way.
1987.
I wasn't getting that as
It's
a
the
kid.
it's the same reason I did not own a Neo Geo.
Yeah, right, right.
99 in like 91.
God, no kidding. Yeah, that's insane. That's nuts.
Oh,
Yeah.
it did not last long. It went from 87 to 91.
Well, probably
It's because
because people were
the
like,
Super Nintendo
ah,
games
yeah,
ran.
right, right. It's like, why am I gonna buy this when I can buy this for yeah, yeah. Mm.
The lot for back then, wow, almost the same price as a Porsche.
Yeah, yeah, right, right. Jeez, man, that's completely insane. Okay, so speaking of expensive, nice little transition there. Did you see
Yeah.
Goodwill? Goodwill made another big sale.
Yeah.
They sold that sealed Legend of Zelda for $411,000. Four hundred
Only
eleven thousand two seventy eight.
only thing I can hope is because it was Goodwill, and we know this isn't necessarily the case, but
Sure.
because it's Goodwill, that it got into a bidding war of someone wanting to make a donation,
Right. I
of
I
some big spenders wanting to actually donate to a cause.
I have more faith in this sale than I do any of the Wada sales.
Yeah.
Um, a big video just came out about talking about Wada and um, some of the fraud and some of the things that aren't going. And a buddy of mine down in South Florida actually contributed some of the media they used for the video. I'll have to find it. He sent me the link today, but I'll find it and send it to you. It's very interesting. They point out some things that we haven't even been talking about. There's accusations that some of the graded games were fakes. That the boxes
Oh,
were, yeah, the boxes were,
oh,
if you really zoom in on them, the print doesn't look right. Like it's really bad. So
just
that
just mock-ups for them to.
hmm hmm
Oh man,
yeah, so that takes it even
that's bad.
further down the path of fraud and laundering and God knows what else. But
That's
yeah,
bad news.
so this is not gonna sound, this is okay. I'm just gonna say it. I can see a pristine sealed Legend of Zelda for $400,000. Okay, like
Way,
I
way more
couldn't
than those
see.
other games.
Yeah, exactly. Like I
Not
couldn't see paying
and
for it. Like I'm never gonna buy it,
right.
but I could understand someone of wealth, someone with a solid income or whatever, spending that on their favorite childhood game, sealed, brand new,
Mhm.
just like, and then like you said, the goodwill aspect of making a donation to a charitable organization, I think helps. Um,
Yeah.
I
I
think that gets it up there too. But
yeah, I would really like to think that it was, like you said, somebody who did want the Zelda sealed and had the means
right,
to pay such an exorbitant amount
right,
because it was towards a good cause.
right. The best thing in the world though would, if you happen to be in chat, whoever bought this, stream opening it. Like make a YouTube video of you opening it and playing it.
Yes.
That would be epic. That would be amazing. That would be really
Hey, Broom Hatter.
good. But yeah, I don't I don't oh, yard work. Oof. Oof.
Yeah.
Ugh. Sounds horrible. That sounds awful. Yeah, it's much better in here. Welcome in.
Yes. Welcome.
I Hey, have you ever bought anything from Goodwill from their auction site?
Never from the auction site. I've picked up stuff, at the local stores,
Yeah, 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 yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that. But yeah, never from the auction site. I've looked at the auction site.
Yeah,
There's some interesting
yeah.
stuff out there.
I have picked up lots of like controllers, to be like
Mhm.
20 Nintendo controllers in a box.
Oh, nice.
When it first came along, I was really not a fan because it was taking the cool finds out of stores. And a lot of your stores would just ship them all to one
Right.
place. And that was always a bummer to me because I love, there's nothing better than going into a thrift store or Goodwill or Salvation Army and finding like this sweet $20 game,
Mhm.
and yeah, but I've bought a couple of, it's very different. Jesse Game Nerd is very, I don't want to say sketch, but it's weird. It's not like eBay. It's not like, it's very different. You're not really buying from a person. You don't really know who these people are. The quality of photos is like all across the spectrum, but the few things I have bought from them or did actually come out pretty good. I got a pretty good deal on a couple. Yeah, mostly controller lots or console lots. They will sell broken consoles by the Gaylord. So a Gaylord's like the huge shipping containers, like the giant. So it'll be hundreds and hundreds of broken or questionable consoles, and I'm like, God, I couldn't imagine paying the shipping on that. But it's crazy some of the stuff you see on that auction site. It's one to go through.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
that's like the government has a GSA auction site where they'll sell towns, they'll sell old airstrips, they'll sell vehicles, they'll sell all kinds of stuff. It's every now and again I catch myself scrolling through like, oh, I could buy a small town in like Montana, you know. Oh, look, an old missile silos for sale. You know, right? Like it's crazy. They got nuts.
That is.
Um, oh yeah, yeah. It's a lot of those
Sadly,
organizations. Yeah,
sadly, they are all businesses in the end.
yeah. It's
Somebody is making profit from it.
right. It's not a non-profit. It's like a not for profit. So look,
Right.
we didn't set out to make profit, but because we did, we're going to keep it.
Mhm.
You know, like so.
Yeah.
It's oh yeah, his old Schlitz Creek for sale. That's awesome. Yeah, you never know what you find. It's pretty good. It's crazy. Um, okay, so continuing the trend of things that I think are way overpriced and way too
Yes.
expensive. Since we've
Way,
got the
way
retro game
expensive.
arcade guys in here, thank goodness. Maybe they can comment on this and give us their take. Shane and Tyler
Yes.
know all about these. The Arcade One Up came out with their latest magical at home arcade, 1/3 size arcade of The Simpsons, 4-player Simpsons. It does the Simpsons beat 'em up game and then Simpsons bowling, I think, right?
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah, Simpsons
Simpsons
bowling
bowling.
too. Ladies and gentlemen, that 3/4 size arcade is $699.99. $700 for
Yeah.
an emulator. I mean, it's literally
Right.
an
Right.
emulator, like 100%. Um, I can't believe it. I'm like, there. I had a problem with one up arcades at like $300, right? I'm like, ah, man,
Mhm.
like, and I'll say that. Let me caveat it with I build arcades. Like, so I build the plans. I've got a CNC in the garage. I cut the panels out. I build them from scratch, right? I could build you a Simpsons arcade cabinet. I could source you the board set, and I could put a flat panel in it for I'd say probably under, at the very worst, the same price. Dude,
Yeah. And
I can't believe they're
then it'd
putting
be
that on there.
then it would be full size and actual hardware
Yeah,
being the key word.
right. Yeah, it'd have been a
Actual
full on
hardware.
JAMA setup. Like you'd have been. I. The only thing that I can imagine is that they're having to pay some pretty steep licensing, um, for the games. That's the only thing that makes sense to me because I don't see it in hardware. The buttons and sticks that are on arcade one ups have not been the best quality. They're not as bad as they were in the beginning, um,
Mhm.
but they're not superb either. Um,
Now I kind of get the feeling that they have become a prominent home arcade machine supplier,
right?
and now they've given you the taste, and now they know that they can bring you what are some more
Oh
games that
yeah,
were in higher demand
yeah, yeah, for
and
sure.
attach that price tag to it.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Mm,
I mean, just like with some of the other stuff, it's like I remember the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade when it originally hit, wasn't it like 400? I want to say when it originally
yeah,
hit, and then
yeah.
I remember seeing it at Walmart for like 250. So
Right,
I almost wonder if we're going to see in a month or two they themselves dipping the
right,
price
right.
and just saying that, oh, well, okay, that didn't work, so we're
Yeah,
going to go ahead and modify that price down
sure,
to
sure.
what we really have into it.
Yeah, no, I hear that, and I think we saw that with a lot of them. The resellers were pushing them out.
Right.
Yeah, no, and I get that too, Tyler. Like there are definite upsides to people that want the smaller cabinets. Dude, I'll tell you, like you said, the emulation is perfect. It does work really
Mhm,
well. Um, the artwork on the cabinets, I think, is great. I think they do a really nice, clean job.
mhm.
There was some issues in the beginning. Oh shit. Okay. Well, you know what? We're just gonna say RGA guy, because it's like
Yes.
one of the brothers, one of the
Yep.
knowledgeable brothers. Their artwork looks really clean. They really nail it. $700
I was
is
just say it all comes down to the price because
yeah.
I don't think it's an inferior product by any means.
No, no.
I would absolutely love to have one,
Right,
but
right.
700.
Yeah, I couldn't
Yeah.
do it for $700. Oh, just a game nerd. I'll tell you. So it's funny. We'll sidebar for a second. Did you see someone recreated Simpsons Road Rage in Unreal Engine? I forgot to put that on our list, but we totally should have
Did
had it
see
on
that.
there.
Speaking of
That is
Simpsons.
really cool. Like that is awesome. Now, unfortunately, they got hit and had to take it down right away. But they literally recreated the entire game in like a matter of hours. Like that's pretty
Mhm.
impressive. Like I assume that they had him take it down, and then he got plenty of job offers. He or she, whoever the person was that coded it. Um, yeah, Simpsons Road Rage was great. The missus loves some Simpsons Road Rage. She was all about it. But I'll tell you, I loved Crazy Taxi. Um,
Oh my gosh, Crazy Taxi is
oh, it
phenomenal.
was so good, so good. I loved it. We had so when I first joined the military, when you join the military, they send you to your school where you learn your job after basic training, and mine was in Biloxi, Mississippi, and they had this little airmen's club that you could go hang out in, and they had a sit in Crazy Taxi. Dude, I spent so much money in that
I
Crazy
I have
Taxi.
never seen a sit-in Crazy
Oh, it
Taxi.
was so good. It was
That is cool.
amazing. It was so good. I spent way too
Huh.
much money in it. I would love to own one of those, but it goes back to the footprint too. It does. It goes back to the footprint.
Yeah.
But Road Rage is a good one. That's a fun one. We should fire that one up again. That's a good. I think I saw you playing a Simpson. Was it Road Rage? Not too long
It
ago.
was hit and run.
Hit and run, hit and run.
It
Yeah,
was
yeah,
the,
yeah.
it was the GTA style one.
Right. Yeah, I remember that. That's good. Um, yeah, that's true too.
Mhm.
RGA person, Shane or Tyler, whatever. But having that nice, clean look that's not full of spiders and cockroaches and everything else. That's right. There's always an upside to every Schwartz. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I like the arcade one ups. I
Mhm.
I like I like that they're going out and finding a way to bring these games to people because a lot of people tell you arcades are dying. Arcades are, if not dead, in a lot of places. A lot of places, there are local arcades have shut down, um,
Mhm.
and it's people like them keep alive. I'll be perfectly honest. I wish I'd have come up with the idea of Arcade One Up before they did, because it's. I mean, the guys are that
Oh yeah.
that industry is huge right now. I think there's a lot of people selling it. Well, I'm just saying, I wish he would have told me so that I could have funded it so that we could all be rich right now. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, come on. But yeah, crazy taxi, road rage. Yeah, we don't have a arcade one up that's a sit down, like a driving one, do we? I don't think we have one yet.
That's that's what Arcade One Up needs to get on.
Yeah.
Is they need to get on. Uh, Ghost and I were talking about it yesterday. Is with the new Cruisin' Blast or whatever coming out
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
Switch. Like we need Cruisin' USA, a
Right.
home port of the actual arcade
Yeah.
game, not the N64 one, but the actual arcade version. And Arcade One Up would be perfect for that.
Oh yeah, for
Give me
sure.
give me an arcade one up machine. Give me like Cruising USA and like oh gosh, what was one of the other crazy racing? There
Oh,
there you
like
go. Cruising USA and Crazy Taxi together.
yeah, right? Dude, that'd be
I
awesome.
sadly if you did that and you put $700 price tag, I'd pay it.
You're right. Now all of a sudden you're like, well, it's not that expensive. Yeah, right. Like,
I,
well.
I mean, granted though, I have the Simpsons arcade game actual purchased through Xbox 360.
Nice.
So
Nice.
You know what I mean? It's like it's not about it, me, emulating through some other means. It's like I purchased it digitally so I could play
Yeah,
the actual port of it.
that's awesome. Yeah, that's
So
cool.
it's kind of hard to put a $700 price tag on something that there is another means to play.
Right, right. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Actually, I like that. Shane, that's a pretty good idea as far as having a so virtual pinball does something like that. Like you buy a license from them and it's not a subscription per se, but they do have subscription services, but your
Mhm.
PC can then play the licensed games. Um so yeah, and then you could have a cabinet that's you could have kind of a modular cabinet that plays a couple different things, or different cabinets that do different things and have that subscription service. That's pretty cool. Or the subscription service you were talking about earlier.
Mhm.
That would be really cool. Yeah, cruising's fun. My barcade here has a it does have a cruising cabinet, and I think he's got a Daytona USA, but I don't think it's working. Daytona USA is kind of expensive.
Oh
That's kind
yeah.
of an expensive cabinet. Like that's a little
That
crazy.
that was one of those fully networked ones where you could have like eight
Yep,
cabs connected
exactly,
together.
exactly. Yeah, and
Yeah.
then imagine hey, it would be cool to like somehow get like a Logitech steering setup into like a Dreamcast, like so you play all these games at
Oh
that
yeah.
level. Um Oh, the driving game that we did the burnout games with the crash
Oh
mode.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Burnout.
I
We need a
love
new There needs
those.
to be a new crash mode
Oh
game.
yeah. Oh, at the
Yeah.
mall. Um
Oh.
yeah, I can't remember the name of it right now. Yeah, yeah, Lucky and
Cool.
Wild. That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Lucky and
Lucky and
Wild.
Wild. Oh yeah, dude, that was a
Mhm.
great one. Like that just style of doing the two different things, that was so cool. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, that was a
Also,
good time.
oh, just a gamer with. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't like the ones that use the cards at the arcades too.
Yeah.
I'm fortunate enough that right around the corner from me is an actual arcade that uses. I can't remember if it's tokens or quarters, but you actually have to put coins in the slot.
Ah, that's cool.
And they have a retro room too, which like has like 30 plus like old school 80s, early 90s games in it.
Very cool. That's one thing I love about the rad bar that we have here in town. Like they it's like a $10 to get in and play as much as you want. Um, and
Oh,
they've
nice.
got a ton of the old driving. They've got a couple initial D's. They've got some maximum tunes. They've got cruising. It's nuts. It's nuts what they've
Nice.
got. But yeah, old Tango and Cash. Oh, I mean, oh my bad, Lucky and Wild. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was a fun game. That was a good one. But we do need another Burnout with a solid crash mode. Like
Yes.
I want like online leaderboards. I want like I mean just that was so much fun. I spent hours
Hmm.
and hours and hours just trying to get the millions in damage done. It got bad too, like because I was playing the game so much that I start driving down like the highway here in town and looking at ways to crash. But yeah, I didn't though, thankfully. But yeah, it was good. That's right. That's
You're
right.
like, if I hit this,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
will
yeah.
cause
It's
a
like
chain
so
reaction.
then they'll run into that, which will run into that, and then I'll bounce over here. Yeah, yeah. It was never good, but oh man, yeah, that would be pretty awesome. I don't know. Get back to the one up arcades. So another
Yeah.
thing that I've seen lately is talking about the card readers. I've seen they make kits now to put those into your arcade one ups. Um, and make an arcade one up something that you could put on location and actually charge for. I I don't know about that. One, I don't think the cabinets were built for that kind of use. You know what I'm saying? They
Mhm.
were definitely home use cabinets. Like they're not meant to be on location somewhere. But two, I don't know how I feel about charging to play. I don't know. That seems a little strange to me, but
And I
um
guess that's the other thing too. If that becomes a common practice, are we going to see this price continue to go up
yeah,
because they know that other
right.
people are profiting?
Yeah, exactly. Now people are it gets kind of tricky when you go to put them on location too, knowing this through my buddy that runs it. In the state of Florida, if you want to put an arcade on location, you have to pay like a flat tax on the cabinet every year, and then you have to pay a percentage of all the coin that you take into the cabinet too.
Hmm.
Um, so it's really expensive that way. So that was one of the my buddy's biggest justifications for making it like a flat rate to come in and play. Um, but yeah, no, man, I can't see it. Uh, okay, yeah, one price to play, yeah, free play, and then they have several one ups. That's interesting. How do they hold up as far as use and stuff like that? Is it something that I know that they fixed a lot of the wear and tear on the early ones?
And it's possible
So
they kitted them out and actually put
sure,
the
sure,
upgraded hardware.
that's awesome. Gotcha. Um,
But I wonder if
that's
that's not
funny.
some I wonder if that's not some of the cause for why these prices are going up, because they actually are witnessing
Yeah,
their arcade cabinets being out in pay to play
yeah,
areas.
yeah. Don't go there anymore because he's super awesome, nice guy. Yeah, that's funny
Uh
that he would laugh at you guys, and now he's jumping right on that bandwagon. You guys have an
hmm,
awesome setup though. Like your setup is perfect because it gives you that variety. And I've built so many multicades. I've built a ton of main machines and multicades for people. Built driving simulators, built ones with guns, and it's like they're awesome in the house. It's just they're and I've built a couple multicades. I did like a 4-player pedestal for the arcade here, and it just plays 4-player games. It's PC based. It just plays four
nice.
player games. So yeah, it's pretty good. Um, you get into a little bit of that, emulation and ROMs question, but whether it's right or not, um, I don't know. It's like obviously you shouldn't sell someone else's property. I think that's a pretty given. But you know, you use the EverDrive. I use an EverDrive. I use Raspberry Pi. I take it a step further, um, and so that's kind of interesting. Um, yeah, that's kind of messed up. That's a shame because you guys could have absolutely like done something with him, done some sort of streaming thing or anything. That would have been nice. And plus, it's nice to have a cool arcade to go to. It's like nice to go hang out.
Oh yeah.
But so yeah, so interesting story when it comes to emulators
ROMs.
and
Yeah.
ROMs. Yeah, ROM universe. I myself got or know a guy that got ROMs from ROM Universe back in the day, and it was a very popular site. It was like a subscription type service where you could subscribe and you didn't have to deal with torrents or getting virusy type stuff. You just go to the site and download the games you want. And let's throw a disclaimer out. In the United States, it's perfectly legal to own and play backups of any game that you own. 100% legal, 100% a-okay. Because the thing is that Sega CD disc that you have, the disc rot is happening right now. You know what I mean? The disc rot is it's going. You know, eventually you're not gonna be able to play that Sega CD game anymore. Just leaving it in the case for 100 years, it's gonna tear up. Manufacturers are not going to pay you or reimburse you for that. So the legal ruling is that um, you're allowed to play backups. You're allowed to make backups. You're allowed to own backups of any game you own. That's the legal jargon. What you're not allowed to do is make backups of games that you own and then sell them or rent them to other parties without explicit permission from the creator of the work. And I'll say this: the intellectual work that is a video game, a lot of work goes into that, and I'm not saying that people that made these original Nintendo games are still around, or still making money off the Nintendo games, but it's I think it's perfectly okay that they get compensated for their work. Um,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
on the flip side of that coin, when you see What Up Arcade selling for $700, it's gonna be really hard to convince me not to put that ROM on a Raspberry Pi for $40 and play it. Right? So it's I don't know. There's a flip. But anyways, Matthew Storman was the creator and proprietor of this website. Made quite a bit of money off the website. Worminator, what's up? Welcome. Made
Terminator.
quite a bit of money off this website. So Nintendo sued him, and I want to say it's actually a couple years ago that the lawsuit came up. And Nintendo was awarded last week. I want to say it was like $2.1 million in judgment. Which, let's be honest, the individual's never going to pay Nintendo. It's more of a statement towards the individual. The individual's probably going to Matthew Storm's probably going to claim bankruptcy. But the judge also ruled that he had to destroy all the ROMs, which I'm not sure how you destroy ROMs. I guess you just destroy the computers that have the ROMs on them, or destroy the file systems or the hard drives. I don't know. And then the judge also ruled that Matthew Storman is never allowed to use an emulator, even for personal use, ever again. He can't own a ROM. He can't have a ROM. He can't have an emulator. He can't play games on an emulator. He can't walk up to a machine that has an emulator on it and play it. Right? So can Matthew Storman ever own an arcade 1-up? According to the judgment, no, he can't. Which is
Oh, yeah,
kinda,
that's
yeah,
true.
right. It's
Because
kind of
it's
crazy.
technically an emulator.
Technically, it's an emulator. It's pretty nuts. Yeah, they came down hard. Which Nintendo is absolutely the one that goes hunting for um these type of people that are running these websites trying to make money off of other people's intellectual properties. So
I can
it's
honestly say, ROM Universe, until this happened, I actually was unaware of ROM Universe as a thing.
oh wow.
I I'm not saying that I don't know ROMs or
Right,
know a guy
right.
who knows other places to get ROMs, but I was unfamiliar with ROM Universe.
Yeah, that was ROM Universe. There's a couple. When I was big into the scene of building main machines, and I'm talking about early on when we would build main machines into old basically old arcade cabinets, and we put TVs in the place of screens, right? So then we could run the video out from the PC that we put in the bottom, like an old Dell, right? And then run that video into the TV and have it. Man, way
Mm,
back in the day, this would have been, gosh, at least 10 years ago, probably a little more. Uh, but yeah, it was it back
nice.
in the day when trying to find these files without going through some nefarious website is awful. I will say, um, Bitcoin back in the day, a lot of the ways that you could pay for your subscriptions to these sites was through Bitcoin. I did have a wallet with about 10 Bitcoins in it back in the day, and I spent them all. I don't have them anymore, and I'm very sad for that. I'm very, very sad. Super, super sad for that.
You did, yeah. It's like by that regard, it's like you definitely didn't get your money's worth when you spent them.
No, definitely not. Probably should have saved those and yeah, gone another round.
My
But
my gosh, though, what that would
yeah,
have, yeah.
right. Like I'm ready. I'm man. Yeah, we'd have paid off the house. We'd have had our own TwitchCon. It'd have been awesome. Been so good. It's painful. But yeah, no. So I found it very interesting that part of his judgment was he's never allowed to use an emulator again. Like that's kind of rough. That's kind of rough.
Yeah.
Um, let's see what else do we got. Oh, old Doctor Disrespect. Doctor Disrespect was uh love him or hate him, right? Which I've never found anyone that's just sort of they're either like I can't stand that guy or wow that guy was amazing. He put on a pretty good Twitch show. You know, when he was on Twitch. I know he's moved over to YouTube now. I don't really ever see him on YouTube. He put on a pretty good production when it came to Twitch streaming. He's definitely over the top, definitely kind of yeah, yeah. And still to this day, no one knows why he got kicked off of our fine Twitch platform. But um, he has come out and said that he's going to start up his own game development studio where he's going to have mega influencers. Which, by the way, I got a phone call. We're part of that group. I didn't know if you knew
The
that.
OG
Yeah,
podcast,
yeah. OG
mega influence.
Podcast is mega influencers, right? He's gonna have mega influencers make video games. I I I mean, you know, hey, whoever wants to make a video game, awesome, go for it. You know, I'm curious to see where it goes. My gut reaction is that it's gonna be a bunch of people that don't, you know, just because you can play video games doesn't mean you're good at making video games. They're two very different things. Yeah, saying
Right,
so.
right.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like I enjoy reading books.
yeah.
I'm not writing a
Yeah,
book.
I'm not gonna go write a book. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's I have a feeling that if he actually does follow through with this, which let's be honest, the guy doesn't normally follow through too much.
Yeah.
But if he does follow through with it, yeah, exactly. It'll be Fortnite meets Warzone meets way too much sugar and Kool-Aid or something. I don't think it'll be anything good, but kind of interesting that he's still making news. And I think it's kind of interesting. It's been like more than a year, and we still don't know why he got kicked off of our streaming platform. Because as streamers, this hour, yeah, yeah, it smells like a GameStop. It smells like a GameStop in here. Yeah, straight up. Yeah. So interesting. Twitch news. So we're gonna tread on this just a little bit. We're gonna talk about it a little bit, and
Yeah.
here's the thing, and this is for chat too. No, nice, no worries, Grim. For chat for everybody. Look, this is we live in a wonderful place, and for our people that don't live in America, you know, ignore that part. But you know, we can agree. Pixel and I all the time. We disagree on things. We agree on a lot of things. You know, Mario 64 was trash. You know, we disagree on things too. You guys disagree with things. Mario 64 is trash. I got 3 people typing right now. You've lost your mind. You know, and that's cool. That's awesome. That's what makes this platform and our country and our society and us as human beings so amazing. We can have different opinions, different thoughts, and different feelings on the things as they are. So I think Pixel will probably agree with me. We encourage our communities to be active and to give us their opinions and to chat, and we'll never disparage that. We might not agree with it, you know, and as long as you're not like attacking someone else for their thought. Yeah, there it is. You lost your mind, Rich. I love it.
Yeah.
I knew Mike could come through. But as long as you're not impeding on someone else's rights to do the same thing, right? Then this is good. This is all great things.
Yeah.
I think, yeah,
For the sake
exactly.
of conversation.
Yeah, exactly. It's mixing it up. It's keeping it fresh and keeping it, and it's good. Oh yeah, absolutely, dude. Yeah, Ferg's very opinionated. I'm the same way, Ferg. Like we don't get along. We didn't get along back in the day when we worked together, but we also get along on a lot of things. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Like it's that's what makes this place so great. One of the big things in Twitch news right now is that September 1st, I guess a movement has started to not stream on Twitch, not watch Twitch, not be a part of Twitch. What are they calling it? The
hashtag a day off Twitch.
A day off Twitch.
So a 24-hour blackout, so to speak.
Right. Basically, removing everybody from Twitch, and the thing that they're speaking out against is a thing Pixel and I both agree is not a very cool thing at all. It's these hate raids, is what they're referred to as. Basically, I guess people will come into your stream, blitz your chat full of trash, full of garbage, full of racial and hate slurs and just awful, just crap that nobody wants on their channel.
Yeah,
Um,
and full disclosure of this, it's like if you're involved in that, if you have anything to do with it, if you support hate rating, you can click unfollow right now
yeah. That's
because you're a
yeah,
garbage person.
100%. Like that's not
There's no reason. There's nothing. Yeah, there's no reason to be doing that.
that is the exact opposite of what our channels represent and what we do
Right.
and why we enjoy doing this. And you know the people that are doing it, they're trolls. You know, they're people that
Yes.
hide behind a username that think they're invisible to the world, and they do these things, and you know, and it's a shame that there's people like that. Um, I just you know, it sucks, right? And 100%. So hate rating is when you'll be sitting there just a normal stream, things will be going fine, and you get bombarded with a group of people.
You
Um,
you you get a raid from someone you
right,
don't know.
some random,
Yes.
and they come in and they start dropping very foul things in your chat, doing things just to disrupt your stream, but not just disrupt you as the streamer, but also intimidate and frighten the people around you. Um,
Quite literally, what would be I mean nothing but slurs and like it's terrible. You can ban them, but usually when
right.
from what I understand, when it has happened to people, it's inundated with bots and
Yeah.
tons of other people to where they will spam your chat to
Right.
where and they will follow bot you. So you're fighting with all the alerts on your
Right.
stream. In the meantime, they're filling up your chat with
Yeah.
some of the worst garbage that should not be
Right.
spoken.
And it's not one or two people, it's hundreds of people.
Yeah.
It's hundreds of
And
things going off.
and
Um,
and sadly it is clearly targeted.
yeah.
It is definitely targeted
Mhm.
to I mean I mean no offense by my description of this because
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm getting terminology right for what
Right.
how proper to say, but it's people of color are being targeted
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
well as LGBTQIA
Yeah.
plus
Yep.
members.
Yeah.
Mm,
And it
And
specifically they look for like the icons and the emotes and stuff. So
right.
I guess so. So here's where I'm at, and I'm not going to speak for Pixel because he's here. He can speak for himself. So, with all that said, all right. So I think we've clearly established that we obviously don't support any attitudes like that. Obviously, you ever come into one of our channels with that mentality, or even attempt to do that type of have that mentality, you're not welcome, right?
Yeah.
Um, However, right, I don't feel like not being on Twitch for a day is gonna and yeah, Miss 24. That's exactly kind of where I'm at with it. I think the intent of it, I think the intent of it is they feel like Twitch as a platform should do something about this. They feel like Twitch as a platform have the power to step in and make sure this types of things never happen. So if they hit Twitch where it hurts, in the wallet, right? Because if nobody's streaming and nobody's watching Twitch, then Twitch isn't making money. You know, Amazon's not making money, right? Because Amazon owns Twitch. Um, yeah, I'm not exactly sure, Worm. I don't know how they think doing that is going to stop people from being idiots, right? I don't know. I'll tell you like this. I have not. That's thankfully it's never happened to me in my channel. Which is yeah, right, Worm, exactly. Um, I have not seen uh anything like that in my channel. Um, you know, I guess hypothetical if it were to happen to me, I would probably end my stream if I couldn't control the number of people that were coming in. Um,
There's a, I mean, there's something to be said for how you can control it.
right,
The fact that you would have to have I one of those the like Streamlab or not Streamlab, Stream Deck switches,
right,
set up with a macro to hit all these commands at once.
right, right.
But no, have you witnessed though? It's like I one of the people I follow actually experienced one,
Yeah, Sun
and
streamer for us too. Yeah, she did too.
yeah, and it's a shame that they had to go through it. And there are things you could do to squelch it out, like how you said you'd end stream. You could quite literally, with the tools that are currently there, I've heard of some people saying it's like set it up so that way you have a button switches over to subscriber chat only
Right, right.
and disables all your alerts.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
you won't be bombarded with follow alerts and they can no longer chat.
Right,
And also the command for clear chat.
right, right.
So that way you'd wipe your chat clean.
That's a good call. And
And,
people that follow you and stuff too, you can also use like Commander Root after
oh
stream
yeah,
to
to fix it after the fact.
mhm,
Yes.
mhm.
Like during the stream, it's like you can actually set up, one button that'll go boom and hit all those things like that.
Right.
Because not everybody necessarily has a mod on hand.
Sure, sure.
It's because I mean, if you're a like if it's a smaller streamer and they only have like five, 4 or 5 people hanging out,
Right.
none of them there is one of their
Yeah.
mods.
Yeah.
They're going to be bombarded and blindsided with this.
Right. Right.
And I can appreciate the situation,
Yeah. For sure.
but I'm kind of with you though. It's the one day I don't I don't see that getting any response from Twitch.
All right.
I see that more of being a maybe getting the kind of getting the word out to
Sure.
others.
Sure.
But I because I mean to be honest, it's like Twitch. It's I wouldn't go so far as to say publicity stunt is more of a
I mean,
what's the word, like a a performance to basically, yes, you're going to draw attention to you, but also maybe draw attention to the cause from
sure.
other
Sure.
viewers and streamers.
I mean, we're talking about it, like
Exactly.
we're talking about it. There's people in our chat that hadn't
Right,
even
but they're
heard
looking
of
to
it,
it.
so yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I would like to see individuals do what you just did. I would like to see individuals, instead of shutting off their streams, I would like to see individuals with huge audiences educate their viewers and say, look,
Right.
if this happens, here's how we're going to combat it. Here's how we're going to take it out. I would like to see Twitch step up and say, you know what? Here's a great video by Unbreakable Pixel, and he describes how you can combat these types of things if it happens to you in a stream. The best thing that
Mhm.
you can do is, and just like you said, you documented a very clear cut way to combat it, and basically you take
Is-
away all their power. Like you like
Exactly.
they're
Is it a
gone.
solution? Is it a solution for the fact that that occurred in the first place?
Mm,
No.
no, and
But
let's be honest.
it's a way for you to regain your control
Right.
before, because what they want is they want to be noticed. They want
Right.
it to be about them. They want you to react to what they're doing. So
Exactly.
if you have a way to immediately squelch them out the instant they appear, they're going to be frustrated because it didn't work. It didn't work for them.
Exactly. Exactly.
And yeah,
It is stressful too. Hey, have a great night, Worm there. Thanks for hanging out. I've had huge streamers. One time I had like 600 people jump in the chat because it was a streamer that was playing the same game as me, and they hopped over to see what I was doing, and his whole channel. So they didn't raid me because they were still streaming,
mhm,
but so it was like, man, it's intimidating. And that wasn't even, spam or
there wasn't
hate or
animosity
anything.
against you.
No,
Yeah.
it was just like, oh my gosh, what do I do? Like it's very crazy for a small streamer to get a large, you're like, wow,
Hmm.
it's nuts. But yeah, no, I don't think a day off of Twitch does as much as educating your stream, educating yourselves. Um, and to be honest, there's people need to. Yeah, Mike, that was crazy, wasn't it? Like I was shocked. I didn't know what to do. I was it was crazy. But I feel like uh we as a society have gotten to that point where you see something wrong, but you don't exactly know what to do about it. So your first gut reaction is, you know, these type of things, these things that sort of almost draw attention away from the actual issue and put it on somewhere else. And that happens a lot in our country. I don't really want to get too deep into it, but the kneeling for the football games, the kneeling for the national anthem, there's oh my gosh, all kinds of things. And protests, protest is a very strong thing. It's a huge thing.
Hmm.
It's so important that our founding fathers wanted to make sure we knew we had the right to protest things that we saw that were not going well. Evil prevails
Right.
when good men do nothing, right? Like
Hmm.
this is the mindset. But I think what happens is the message gets lost. And it's a shame because then it becomes more of a conversation about the message itself than what the message was trying to say. And it's I don't know. I wish
Yeah.
people
I,
would do
I
it. Yeah.
I don't want to, and I'm not downplaying the situation of. I mean, obviously, you and I are not the target of these people throwing that hate out,
Right.
and so I can't even begin to try to say I understand what it's like
Right.
on the receiving end of that specific issue. But the fact that they're doing it and they're doing it for a reaction, they want to get under your skin.
Yep.
The creating this movement for this one day is almost like saying, yes, you're under all of our skin.
Yeah.
It's admitting the fact that yes, you got to us.
Yep. And they're gonna
And
love it. They're gonna sit back and just revel in the fact that they got Twitch to shut down for a day. You know?
right. And it's especially from the more I was reading about how some of these, and it's probably not all the groups. Some of these might be legitimate streamers out there, but it's groups that have collected together. They're like-minded individuals, and one person will go live on a stream. They all join that, and then immediately raid out.
Right.
I think if there is anything Twitch could do, take away the ability to raid unless you're at least affiliate.
Sure. Sure.
Take away the ability to raid if you
Yeah.
have to be at least affiliate, and put like an hour limit or something to where
Right.
you can't raid until after 1 hour
Right.
of a stream.
And that's
I
a
don't know.
shame. That's yeah.
Some like it's a shame that you'd have to do that, but if there was anything that Twitch could do, it would be that, because I'm not even sure how they could combat such a thing
Right.
from their end.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
it,
I think
it
people think they forget that they think that Twitch is this entity watching them like all the time. And they're not.
right.
They're not. I don't know that anyone at Twitch knows that you or I exist. And they certainly don't
Mhm.
know that we're here talking about this right now, right?
Right.
Um and they're
We're not even a blip on the radar of Twitch
yeah.
at the moment.
Yeah. So they're not going to you can't be appalled when they don't know. And Twitch, we've talked about this before. Twitch
Mhm.
for its flaws, Twitch does a lot of pretty awesome things for us, giving us this platform, giving us
for
these
for
streams that we can put out
and technically this platform for free
100% for free.
for
We
free.
wouldn't have to pay a dime
It's
to
it's it's
do
it's
this.
because it's because people choose to do subs and choose to do bits, which we
Right,
appreciate, by the way.
right,
That's where Twitch gets their cut.
right,
But if we were one of the people who directed everyone just donations only,
right, right.
Twitch would not see a dime
Yeah,
from us.
yeah, yep. That's
And
true.
we would still be broadcasting just the same.
Yep. Still be putting it
And
out there.
it's one of those situations where it's how I mean, it being such a free open platform like that, how much policing are they even willing to try to do?
Yeah,
Because
yeah. And how much policing do we really want? Because I'll tell
right,
you right now, a big part of me becoming affiliate was raids. A big
right,
part of
exactly.
me getting to know most of the people that have spoken in chat tonight was raids. You know, it's like so. But you asked Twitch to make a decision, and like you said, well, Twitch doesn't have a lot of things to do. Well, now all of a sudden they're looking at taking away something that
What
is
if
a useful tool that you
what if
need to grow.
especially what if okay, so well, here's the one way Twitch can fix it. Inside of your settings, you have the option to either turn off raids or you have the option to say raids from only people you follow.
Right,
So what happens when Twitch just says, "Okay, fine, you can only be rated by people you follow,"
right,
and they take away that choice
right.
of random raids,
Yeah, you're just
fundamentally,
you know,
fundamentally breaking the ability for you to randomly find someone new.
yep. And people to
You,
find you. Your
you and I, you,
discoverability is gone.
you and I wouldn't be having this podcast
Right, 100%.
if it
Absolutely
wasn't
not.
for a raid outside of our follow groups.
Exactly. Yep.
And and it's and it's one of those things. It's like if you want such a reaction from Twitch, and they do act, that is indeed something they could just do. They could say, okay, by default, then it's
Yep.
only if you follow that person, they can raid you.
Right. Right.
And if they do that, you're not going to be happy.
Yeah.
You're actually going to probably be more upset
Yeah.
than you are now, left with just the ability to react when it happens,
Right.
than that actually being that option even being taken away.
Yep. Yeah.
Because sure, you have that opportunity, they have that opportunity to give you a hate raid, which you can squelch out, take their power away,
Yep.
or you lose the opportunity to have raids at all.
Right.
And
Right.
that would be a an absolute shame. I
Yeah.
would hate to see that come to
Yep.
pass.
Discoverability is so difficult on this platform anyway, because there's millions of people out here that are using the platform to try to be discovered, to try to make a mark for themselves. You take away that, and there's not much left. And now
Yeah,
there's no chance that someone you don't know is going to come hang out and want to be a part of your community, part of your channel. And the missus nailed it. It's not. It is 100%. You can't, no matter what you or I or Twitch or anyone does. If people are going to act the way people are going to act, and if people want to be
right.
jerks and they want to be clowns, they're going to be jerks and they're going to be clowns. You just got to move above it. Um, and
Exactly.
I think your ABC, here's what you do to fix it. You need to handle this issue on your own. And that's part of being a streamer too. You know, that's kind of that's part of the responsibility you take on for creating content. Like not everyone's gonna like what you have to say. Not everyone's gonna be happy with it, but you can't just push those issues onto the platform, onto your setup, or you need to figure out ways to fix these things on your own. And I think if more people did that, the focus would be in the right direction. Um, I don't think people will be. I don't think people would be very happy if they did some of the things you're talking about and took away some of those advantages
And
we
and
have.
and if Twitch, I mean, that would be the simple solution from Twitch's end.
Right?
You know, that would require the least amount of effort from their end,
Yeah.
and indeed solving that problem,
Right.
but at a huge cost.
Yeah.
At a
No.
huge cost, because even the people who are affected by this, which once again, it's like I feel absolutely terrible that this is even happening to people. There are too many garbage people out there
Yeah.
causing problems
Yeah.
for but I mean, that is going to be severely detrimental to those individuals as well, to those streamers who are being victims of this.
Absolutely. For sure.
There, I there's not a. It sucks. I
Yeah.
mean, plain
Yeah.
simple, it sucks.
People are
There
jerks.
is not there is not a clean solution to win this situation.
Right.
It,
Right.
it, unfortunately, people suck.
Yeah.
There are people out there who suck,
Yep.
and yeah,
Once I think
it's just I worry about that knee jerk reaction from Twitch. If you do
right.
get noticed by Twitch,
Right.
they can be that way about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, in the end, back to the whole it being a day. I don't think a day is
No.
enough to.
No. The time could be spent better. The time could be um I don't know. Like I said, education, rising above it. If you take away the power from these people, then they're going to move on to do something else.
Yeah,
Because they want the
they'll
reaction.
get bored. Right,
Yeah.
they'll get bored, and then they'll find something else to
Exactly.
be jerks at.
Yep. That's all they want. They want the reaction. But in any case, I will say
Yeah.
September 1st is the day of it. I don't know if I planned on streaming that day or not. If I had a stream planned for that day, I would choose to still stream. I would choose to still stream. I would invite my chat to still be here. If my chat didn't think that was a cool thing to do and they didn't want to be here, I don't hold it against you.
Yeah, I
Do what
understand.
you feel right. Yeah, 100%.
Everybody has the right to be their own choice.
So it is a Wednesday. So yeah, I will be streaming that night. But yeah, it's very much something that if someone does happen to pop in and ask if I knew what day it was, I'd probably tell them exactly what you just told me and hopefully educate people and try to move past it. But
And just like how we were explaining, it's like I am all for trying to help these individuals, because I'm sure there are plenty that are also newer to streaming
right,
that don't know the stuff that you can actually control.
right,
I would
exactly.
I would love to be able to
Yeah,
help and say, okay, you can set this, you can do this, you can do this. So literally at a touch of a button,
yep,
sure it appeared, but that's the only way you would know it started. And
right,
then you could squelch them out within 5 seconds,
yep,
and it'd be like it never happened.
yep. And now they're just
And
wasting their time.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Send that message to them that you're not gonna get under my skin,
right, right,
rather than the fact that they know they got people
right,
razzled about it.
right. Seeing everyone.
They're in their twisted minds, they're successful at what they're doing,
Yeah, yeah,
and it's sad.
right. Yeah,
It's sad that there are trash people like that.
yep. Yeah, it's a
But
shame. Yeah, Mike could be thinking about jumping out of planes. This dude's crazy.
oh
Crazy.
yeah, oh my gosh, how many sidetrack here? How many jumps are you going to be doing while you're there?
Oh, it's gotta be, yeah, it's
Can't
gotta be
imagine how many
insane.
jumps.
And can you put a GoPro on and stream it while you're going down? That'd be sweet.
Oh, we need a live army mic jump.
Oh, that would be awesome. At the very worst, record it to put it on YouTube, but I think a live one would definitely be awesome.
Actually, record it, be on stream, and then feature your video.
Yeah, there you go.
Playback on stream while you could chat with people.
That would be pretty awesome. That would be pretty sick. You should do it, Mike. Get the helmet cam or something. Let's see. So moving on from the Twitch news, we talked about it a little bit yesterday. I went and saw Free Guy this past weekend. You hadn't seen it yet.
Not yet. I really want to see it though.
You so good. Okay, yeah,
you can talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I won't. I'm not gonna go into any spoilers or anything, but video game movies to me they usually don't hit the mark. They're usually just they're not great, right? We've talked
Hey,
about that
Battle.
before. Yeah, Beowulf, I did too. I thought it was so good. I thought it was good. It was just a good movie on its own. Um, the video game stuff, it wasn't crammed down your throat. You didn't have to be like an uber video game nerd to get the jokes. Um, but they were there and they were funny. They were hilarious. Like it was so good seeing some of the stuff in the background and just the things that were happening. Um, the story was great. I do have one criticism of the movie, and that it ended a little too strong in the romantic comedy, the romantic part of the comedy part. So it was kind of they laid on a little thick at the end. It was kind of meh, but I really enjoyed it. Yeah, a lot of cameos. It was a very good movie. Yeah, exactly, Beowulf. It was yeah, exactly. My wife, she plays video games. We play video. She's not obviously on my nerd level, right? Still had a great time. Still enjoyed the movie. So it's something you can take family members, friends, um, to the end. Yeah, good man. I'm glad I'm not the only one. I was like, you didn't need the last 15 minutes of the movie. You just didn't need it. They could have wrapped the movie up, and it would have been just perfect. And then they took that extra 15 minutes that you didn't really need. Um, but that's okay. But it was still a good movie, still a great movie, totally worth checking out. One thing that gets me excited, because everybody that's been up in here for the last 11, 10 episodes knows I love the movies. I love going to the movies. I'm really happy that it was a theater only release. I'm happy that they committed to that again. I know a lot of people are super stoked about the streaming, and I've streamed a lot of movies, and I've enjoyed the accessibility um, of the movies. But I'm so glad that they have movies that are in the theater again. Like I'm so glad that that's there, and I think the movie did really well. It did like $18 million opening weekend. I think it's going to be another. It's going to be top of the box office again. Which, if we're really talking on the scale of things, 18 million is nothing like pre-COVID numbers. However,
Right,
it's good. It's heading in the right direction, and that makes me
right.
excited for the
It's a sign of it
possibility.
coming back.
Right, right, and
Yeah.
that's awesome. Yeah, that's right. That's right. The
The
that's right. The
pretzel with cheese.
pretzel, yeah, pretzel with cheese, so good, so good. They did shoehorn it. They did. They just kind of crammed it down your throat. It was nuts. Yes, it was great to go sit down, have some popcorn, get a nice big soda, pretzel with cheese, and watch a movie and watch the previews. And that's another thing that we were talking about earlier in the show. This time of year is also like cool for movies. There's usually some late year, like late summer, early fall blockbusters that come out. That November timeframe is good for some like your James Bonds and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Really excited for all that. So totally worth seeing. 100%. At least the 24 approved. You're gonna love it, dude.
Oh yeah.
It's
I'm
so good.
yeah, I'm excited. My wife and I, we definitely want to go see it.
Yeah, yeah.
And to be honest, it might be something we see before the week's out.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally worth it. You guys will both enjoy it. It's great. Um, let's see. Marvel What If. Are you all caught up on Marvel
I
What If?
am.
Me
I am.
too. How good was the second episode?
It was really good.
I think I
I
liked
liked
the
it.
second one better than the first one. And I'm a huge Captain America fan, and Captain Britain is very cool, but
Mhm.
I liked the second episode. It was just I found myself cracking up at all the little
Yes.
twists and turns. Now, so here's something kind of interesting.
So here, I'm gonna put spoilers up.
Yeah, 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 right.
Which-
Well, yeah, 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 yeah. I I
okay.
I don't
Spoiler
wanna
alert.
I definitely don't
'Cause-
wanna give away too much,
well, okay.
but
Well, at least
just
in the
in case.
at
Just in
least in the
case.
trailer, y- um, clearly this is the Star Lord episode,
Right?
but Star Lord is T'Challa,
Right, 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 right.
and I gotta say that part of it was like hit me in the feels a little bit
Yeah, yeah.
because this was indeed the actual, to my understanding from what I read, this is the last thing that
Yeah,
Chadwick Boseman did
yeah.
for Marvel.
Recorded it right before.
Was
Yeah.
recorded,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, recorded the audio,
Yep. Yep.
and and it was nice. They even wrapped it with a dedication to
Yeah,
him.
that was really nice.
But
Um,
oh man, though,
yeah,
yeah,
that was rough. But oh my god, just all the so here's one thing. So what I said about Free Guy, as far as Free Guy being there were things in the background that weren't really big. I feel like Marvel What If, you need to be very well versed in the movies and in the universe,
mm,
specifically in the cinematic universe. Not so much the comic. I mean, the comics help, but
right.
you need to know the cinematic universe when you're watching What If. Or there's some things you're just not going to get. There's some things that you don't understand, that you don't so it's interesting. It's interesting that yeah, we were talking about it the other day where the missus she gets like she watched all the Marvel movies with me, like I watch them too much, but she doesn't. There's a lot of things happening in the background. It's like, oh my god, seeing the Collector as like the big bad,
Oh yeah.
like it was like, holy crap, this is insane, and like and just all this, and you're like, wow, and that's not something you get if you weren't,
Mhm.
knowledgeable in the universe. So I find it's interesting that it kind of does the opposite of things like Free Guy, like we were just talking about.
Mhm. My absolute favorite scene, and I don't even have to necessarily share the context of it because or how the involvement is, but my favorite
I'll
has to
bet I
be
know what you're gonna
Thanos.
say. Yeah.
Thanos. His conversation
Yeah.
explaining his plan of, which is basically what Infinity War was the snap to cut the population in half because of the world's resources. And the
Yeah.
person's response is, "Oh, that sounds a lot like
It
genocide."
kind of
And he
sounds a
says,
lot like
he
genocide.
says and his response back was, "Well, it's not because it's random.
Yeah, right. No, no, no. It's
And
random.
it's
Yeah.
random and
Yeah.
efficient."
Oh my god, it was so good.
His earnest response of that, it's random, but it's efficient. I'm
I,
like, oh man.
I forget his name, but the guy that was going to steal it was the Mind Stone the Star Lord was getting, right? Wasn't that the Mind
Mhm.
Stone? Yeah. So the what was the guy's name that was coming to steal from him? I forget his name.
I can't remember his name.
But it was awesome. Like from the very jump on,
Mhm.
like, because when he's like Star Lord and he's like, oh, you're Star Lord, it's just like it was so awesome. Like
It was complete
opposite of the
opposite
movie.
of
Yeah, total opposite. Like, oh man, it was good.
Star-Lord.
Yeah, that was very, very
But
excellent. It was
if
good.
if you do not watch Marvel's What If, you need to change that. You need
Yeah,
to correct it.
yeah,
It's well worth it. They're about, I think, like 35-minute episodes,
yeah, yep.
and yeah,
They put you
and a
right in
lot
the
of
universe.
the actors reprise their roles as the voices,
Yeah, I couldn't
which is
believe
very
it.
nice.
I couldn't believe how many people were back at it. That was really awesome. That was
There are
really
some
cool.
there are some recasts, but for sound alikes and stuff
Sure,
in the first episode and the
sure.
second, but for the most part though, it's
Yeah,
the authentic actor who plays those
right.
roles in the films.
It's pretty cool. Pretty
Yeah.
awesome. I enjoy them. I do.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Big spoilers off there.
let's see. So Bad Batch. Did you watch
I still have yet to watch Bad
you're
Batch.
killing me, Smalls. You're
Yeah.
killing me. You're killing me.
Yep. Yep.
Um, it
I'm a
it
bad Star
ended.
Wars fan.
Yeah, it's awful. It
I
ended
am.
great. I'm really happy with the way it ended. They got renewed for a second season. Very awesome. My youngest and I are watching them, and great. It's really adding. It's adding a layer of depth. So here's why I think I like it. Okay, I didn't like the latest trilogy, right? Well, I shouldn't say I didn't not like it. I was not as fond as of the new movies because of their lack of depth. I think
Mm.
that's what it really boils down to for me. There's storylines that were not they were not panned out. There's other storylines that I didn't care about and didn't matter that were really given a lot of time and effort. Um, however, in Bad Batch, man, they really give you a layer of depth from the transition from the Republic to the Empire, and it's really interesting to see how it works. So it's amazing that it's doing this with an animated. It's I mean it's a cartoon, you know, but it's
Hmm.
man, it is so interesting to see how it's working out, and it's like I'm really excited to see what happens to these clones. Um, in the next season, see how they start to tie in, because there's words that some of the clones that are animated in the series, they're going to be cast as actors and actresses to be in some of the Ahsoka show, the Mandalorian. Like we're going to start seeing that because they're starting to run into each other.
That's awesome.
So
That is
stoked!
awesome.
Oh man, I'm stoked. And Obi-Wan too. Apparently they're going to work with Obi-Wan, even so. I'm
Oh wow.
really stoked. And Obi-Wan, Obi-Wan, my favorite Jedi. Like Obi-Wan was always loved Obi-Wan. So I'm really excited for it. But it did
Mhm.
wrap up I think it was 2 weeks ago. No, 2 weeks ago it wrapped up. But man, I really enjoyed it. Really did. It ended on a it is Bad Wolf. You absolutely should um check out Bad Batch. It's a great series. Same thing. They had some longer episodes, but most of their episodes sit around 30-35 minutes. So it's not bad. Um
Yeah. Yeah. I need to go back and binge it now.
yeah, it was good. So another thing that I've been doing lately, and this started in COVID when we were on lockdown, I started going back and rewatching a Star Trek series. A Star Trek series that I never watched was DS9. I
Hmm.
started it. I watched some of them. I never watched it all. I to be perfectly honest, I did not enjoy DS9. It was boring to me. I did not like it. I didn't. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The missus has had to tolerate me watching all like 7 seasons of DS9. I didn't like it. I did not enjoy. I like the exploration aspect of Star Trek, and being on a space station was very different. You know, it was very very strange. So, going back and watching it again, I found new appreciation for it because I had given up on the show before Worf came into the show as a regular.
Hmm.
I think
Okay.
Worf helped out a lot. Um, so and then before they really got into the war and things like that. So I did finish it. It was pretty good. Now, one that I never watched at all was Voyager. I never saw Voyager, not even a single episode. So I've moved on to Voyager. But yeah,
Seen bits.
DS9.
I've seen random episodes of Voyager,
Yeah,
but yeah, not much.
DS9 was pretty good. I so Okay, well, I'll ask you this: do you have a favorite Star Trek series as far as on the TV shows?
I'm a I'm a Next Generation fan.
Yeah, I'm the same way. That was
Yeah.
kind of like what I grew up with, and my parents were into it, and I watched it.
And, and I think that's why is it's like
Yeah,
that's what I grew up with. So
yeah, it was
yeah.
DS9. Let me tell you, DS9. Uh, DS9 was like 25 episodes per season, and they were like hour-long episodes. Man, they made a lot of DS9 episodes. It
Mhm.
was crazy. Um, Voyager does seem pretty good. I like the concept so far. And it helps having watched DS9 to get the background of the Maquis and kind of like what's going on. So that kind of helps set it off, and you see the interactions on a ship, which I like. I think I'm gonna enjoy Voyager. I like Janeway so far; she's cool. The Missus
Mm.
liked her in Orange Is the New Black, so
Yeah. Yeah, we
pretty
actually first because I knew her from Voyager first and then watched
right.
Orange is the New Black. I'm like, wait a second.
You're right. You're right.
I'm like, I
Right.
know her.
And she's a good actress, so it's pretty
Oh yeah.
good. Um, but yeah, so DS9's over. DS9, man, it was long. It was rough, man. But I did get through it. Um, yeah, it might have gone a season too long, but that's okay. But yeah, so
But
I'm the same way. Next Generation, I like I
yeah,
like Next Generation. I wish the
I even
movies would have
remember.
done better.
Yeah, I even remember going to see Generations in the theater
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
when
yeah.
it first came out.
Yep, Yep.
and it was like the most amazing thing.
Right, right. You're like, man, this is awesome. And
Mhm.
I liked the movies. They weren't received very well, but I thought the movies were good. I wish it would have made more. You know, I wish we would
Mhm. I
for me, I'm a next generation person.
Same here.
I the original series is not bad,
I
but
appreciate the original
right,
for
exactly.
what it is, because we wouldn't have Next Generation if it wasn't for the
Right.
original. But yeah, I absolutely enjoy Next Generation more.
I will say there was an episode of Deep Space Nine where they go back to the original series. And
Oh wow.
they interact with the crew members of the original series. A lot of it's done with like green screen and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Um, but what were the little furry things? The
Oh, the Tribbles?
tribbles. Yeah, it was the tribble episode that they went back to. So it's
Oh wow.
funny that the members of DS9 actually help solve the tribble episode from back in the day. It was crazy. It was cool.
That's cool.
That DS9 episode is totally worth watching. Like that was total fan service, and it delivered. It was good. Um, okay, but anyway, so I did mention earlier that I'd done that. I finished that up last week, and much
Nice.
to the missus' happiness. Hey, Army Mike, have a great night, man.
Yep,
Thanks for hanging
yep.
out.
Army Mike.
But yeah, so the kind of the last show was one that you actually showed me the actual trailer.
Yeah.
Star Wars Visions.
And I am more excited. Like, now that I saw the trailer, I am more excited for this than I thought I was going to be.
Dude,
I I I have a I go through phases where I get into anime. So it's even more so like I'm really into this now. Is pretty much from, I'd say, 90s to now. Basically teenage years to now. I have been back and forth with, I watch a bunch of anime, and then there's time, like a year or so goes by where I don't even watch anything, watch
right,
more anime. And this is Star Wars stories being told by some very prominent anime studios.
right,
And it is kind of like a collection. It looks to be like one-off mini movie episodes
right, right,
of telling a Star Wars universe story
right.
in the style of whichever anime studio is doing each episode.
Right.
And wow, is all I could say. Is
Yeah.
it gotta look up this trailer. If I was better at preparing us for on stream, it's like I would have got it set up so we could actually play the trailer,
Oh yeah, yeah, right.
and share it with you guys. But being that we do this through Discord anyway, you're not going to get it at the full frame rate and
Yeah,
such.
yeah,
We're at a voice chat or
right.
video chat level. But check out the trailer for Star Wars Visions. The animation looks top notch, especially if you're an anime fan,
Yeah,
and it looks like it's going to be a pretty wild action in
right.
these shows.
For sure. Definitely.
And
I'm not a
got
so
less than a
I'm
month.
I'll tell you, I am not an anime person. I've never gotten into it. Um
Hmm.
my oldest is actually super into it. My youngest too, a bit. So I'm kind of stoked for it in that regard. It'll be my first crack into that world. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, no, it gosh, the trailer got me hyped. I was like, wow, this is awesome. Like
It
this is really neat.
to me, it kind of it kind of did the same for Star Wars, like Marvel's What If
Yeah,
animation
sure,
style
sure,
for
sure.
Marvel. Like
Yeah,
it it gave it it's a fresh coat of paint,
right.
and you could do different things than you can live action.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. Dude, I was
Especially
wow.
especially in anime style, because they incorporate a lot of, I guess you would say, anime usually like delves into the supernatural elements. Like
Mhm.
there's a lot of presence of stuff like that in a lot of different series,
Right.
and definitely seeing some of those clips of Star Wars looks like we're going to get some pretty wild and out there
Yeah. Yeah.
concepts.
That's awesome. Oh yeah, it'll be nuts. I'm looking forward to it. Um, and it'll be neat seeing someone that doesn't watch anime and doesn't understand kind of the
Mhm,
different styles and things like that, see if I'm still able to enjoy it. Something tells me I'll probably still be able to enjoy it.
mhm.
I'll probably still be good with it. Yeah, I'm
I
excited for
kind of
that.
yeah, I kind of like the idea of them going. To be honest, I like the idea of them doing the anime style of it rather than them trying to adapt like the live action stuff and give it animated versions. Like that
Sure.
works great for Marvel.
Right.
You
Right,
know,
right.
I think that worked great for What If, but I think I like the fact of we're gonna get some original, literally like no pun, like visions
Sure. Sure.
from these studios, and
Yeah.
it's gonna be it's gonna be surreal. I think
Yeah.
to see
Yeah.
Star Wars done in a style that's not from their studio.
Right. Right.
It yeah, this is
It will
this
be
might this
totally
might be new
different.
ground.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's gonna be take something that I don't know. I can imagine that maybe there's a decent amount of Star Trek or Star Wars people out there that aren't in anime, like myself, and it's gonna
Mhm.
bring us into a whole new world. So yeah, should
Right?
be neat. Should be pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Look forward to a month from it's like the twenty
Yeah, the
second,
22nd
twenty
of
second.
September.
Very
Yep.
cool. Very cool.
And I
Oh
imagine it's gonna be a drop an episode a week is what
yeah,
my guess is gonna
yeah,
be.
probably. That's the only thing about streaming. That episode a week thing's kind of rough sometimes. Like give me 4 episodes. Like
Yeah.
come on. Like seriously. Was it Game of Thrones that did that? Gave us 4 episodes accidentally or something. They
Yeah,
released them
I
early.
remember that. Yeah.
It was like, and then at the end of the 4 episodes, you're like, well, crap. Now I gotta wait a month.
Right.
Like,
Because
dang
'Cause they're
it,
like, "Well,
man.
that's all we had in the
Yeah,
line."
yeah. This was a mistake. I should have done that. So a couple of interesting games. We'll wrap up on some game releases this week. Diablo 2 Resurrected beta came out last weekend. I didn't want to play a ton of it. Okay, so with a game like Diablo, if you're gonna let me into the beta, which was awesome, cool, thanks Blizzard. Um,
Mhm.
you should let me keep my progress, like because like all the
Oh,
loot and
yeah.
stuff I'm not gonna have anymore. So I'm kind of like I was not very invested in it. Just had to try it a little. Uh, it crashed on me a couple times. It's definitely a beta. But it was cool though. The parts
Mm,
that did play well. I mean, it was just like playing Diablo 2 back in the day. I loved that game. Oh man.
that's awesome.
So I'm looking forward to it. And it looked beautiful. It was really nice, but it was definitely puggy.
Mhm.
As most betas are. That's why we have betas. So, um, but yeah, no, that was pretty good. Psychonauts 2 came out came out
Yeah.
already or
It
this week?
it is supposed to be Game Pass tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
I don't know if that means that it came out today, non-Game Pass.
Right, 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 right.
I don't know if they did something like that
Oh
because
man.
I saw a lot of the review sites say the 23rd, but
Right.
then if you look on Game Pass, it says the 24th.
Yeah. Dude, that's
But
that's gonna be awesome. That'll be
yeah,
fun. You
double,
gonna
I love Double Fine's games.
Oh
I
yeah.
I don't think I've played a single Double Fine game that I did not find enjoyable.
Nice. That's
It,
awesome.
they're like really they're like the Tim Burton of
Yeah.
video games.
Right,
Like
right,
they just
right.
have a very strangeness about them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what's interesting with this though, not only am I'm absolutely hyped. I'm going to play it. And as a matter of fact, I just re-downloaded Psychonauts 1 onto the
Nice.
Xbox. I know
Nice.
a months back I started playing it on stream, and I don't remember where I left off and stuff.
Very
So
cool.
I wasn't going to pick that back up, but I re-downloaded it on Xbox because I plan on pushing through that game so that way I can enjoy the second one like right after.
Very cool. That'll be
Um,
awesome.
but with Psychonauts 2, it's interesting because Double Fine is now owned by Microsoft.
Right. Interesting. Hmm.
It is coming out on the PlayStation
Oh, nice. Nice. That's
because
awesome.
it was already in development.
Huh.
Now, this is where things
Hmm.
get interesting is
Hmm.
the PlayStation version is the last gen version, the PlayStation 4.
Okay.
It was basically developed for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. While since the new systems came out, because Microsoft owns Double Fine, they gave it the Series X treatment.
Oh, very cool.
It's now higher res, higher. I don't know if it's higher frame rate, but it's an
Mm,
HDR.
interesting.
There is no current next gen, whatever you want to call it now. Technically, it's current gen.
Right.
There
Right.
is no current gen version for PS5. So
Interesting.
people
Hmm.
are up in arms a little bit about that.
Hmm.
But I think that's I think that's pretty cool that
Yeah.
Microsoft still is releasing. Like they could have just scrapped the game and
Yeah.
said,
No
"Sorry, Sony."
kidding. Yep. Yeah. Right. That would have been something. Jeez.
Yeah.
That
So
would have
so
been rough.
technically, if they do it, I mean, because they own Double Fine, that means that just like my experience of playing MLB The Show on my Xbox
Right.
opens with the um, PlayStation, like Studios,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is just weird. That means that
Yeah.
Psychonauts 2 is going to have the Microsoft games.
Yeah. That is funny. Yeah. That's funny. Oh, wow.
And part of me wonders though, it's like, is this something that we might see in the future more often?
Yeah. Yeah. Like
Because
exclusivity maybe is like a better, cleaner, higher resolution version.
well,
Mhm.
that, but also but still releasing like how the show decided to come out on
Right.
both.
Right. Right.
Sony didn't have to do that.
That's
It
true.
was because of the we're back to that where it seems we have a lot of people who are Sony, a lot of people who are Xbox again,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
as opposed to later in the cycle where people ended up with both.
Right. Right. Right.
Are we
Yeah, for
possibly going
sure.
to see because they see that there's money to be made?
Yeah. Dude, it's the money's in the
To to
games.
yeah, exactly, to
Oh.
basically be like, you know, not that we necessarily would. We're going to see a Halo game on Sony.
Oh,
Are
wow.
we going to see a God of War on Microsoft?
Yeah. Jeez. That's crazy.
Or is it just going to
Weird.
be, rather than the first party development, maybe some of their subdivisions
Yeah,
games
sure.
cross,
Sure. Wow. That'd be nuts.
like how Microsoft owns what is it, Ninja Theory with
Yeah.
Hellblade.
Right. Right.
So Senua's Sacrifice 2 or whatever, Hellblade.
Yep.
I don't think it's called that. But
Yeah.
Hellblade 2,
Mm-hmm.
that one was previously both platforms.
Right.
Are,
Right.
are they going to possibly release for both?
Man. Yeah,
I
that'd
don't
be
know.
cool. Hey, it's good things for gamers, I think. Hopefully.
Exactly.
Hopefully.
And and Microsoft is definitely in it for player games,
Oh yeah.
whether it's on PC, whether it's on our Xbox.
Right.
Are they going to open the door
Yeah.
and become that developer who says, "We don't care how you play our games, but play our games."
Right. Yeah, that would be awesome. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, but you never know.
Yeah.
Who know?
Yeah. Dude.
Who knows?
That'd be some good news.
Somewhere way down the road in the OG Vodcast, we might be actually talking about what's next for Microsoft Studios for PlayStation.
Right. In the world of game studios putting out not complete games and just things, that's some good news, like
Right.
that'd be really cool. So
There definitely seems to be some good vibes coming out in
yeah,
there too.
yeah,
But yeah.
for sure. Sweet man. Well,
So
that's
yeah.
that's where I'm at for the evening. That's all
Yeah,
the
me too.
sweet topics I had. Thanks for the chat, man. Like I said, this makes
No,
Mondays
absolutely.
fun. This is a good time.
Oh yeah. I
I
look forward to
appreciate
this
it.
one every 2 weeks.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Me too.
Absolutely.
Thanks chat for being here too, man. Thanks everybody for
Yeah,
hanging
thank you,
out.
chat.
Some good topics tonight. So, uh
Thank you for sticking with us when we went deep on a couple of these topics, and
we had some rabbit trails. We do pretty good
yeah,
at keeping them in. We try to keep them in a little bit. But yeah, yeah, we gotta have our
and
rabbit trails here and there.
exactly. And I mean, just to stress it more is we talk about this for discussion and conversation purposes.
Yeah,
We're not trying to impose any ill will on anyone or
yeah,
trying to say this is how it needs to be or this is how it
exactly,
should be.
exactly.
It's simply for
Yep,
discussion,
yep.
and we're open to the conversation.
That's what it's here for.
Mhm.
Both of us in our respective discords, exclamation point Discord, in the chat, we have links to, we have channels set up to where if you have ideas for the podcast, definitely throw them out there. Put them in
Yeah,
there. And if you'd like to join us one Monday, we'd love to start getting some people in here and doing doing like have a guest come on and banter with us and have a good time. And I think
absolutely.
it'd be fun. Think it'll be good. Yeah, exactly. Have a good week and don't be a jerk.
Exactly.
That's where it's at. So we are gonna rate somebody. Not sure exactly who yet. So stick around for it. But yeah,
Mhm.
that's where I'm at, man.
Yeah.
Have,
So what do you
have
got planned for the week?
I'm dude, I have no plans at all. We should start Gears. We should start Gears too. Um
I yeah, I should be good for
That's
I should
nice,
be good for
Scotty.
years.
That's awesome. Very cool.
This is
Very
Mario
cool.
64.
That's good.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I tried to keep them. I tried to keep them limited just for you. You know, I just wanted to. You know, no, we had actually I think Friday. So skeptics talked me into doing some horror games, which horror games are not my genre. So you want to see a really big dude scream out like a little girl? It's gonna happen. So uh,
Which one do you have
I forget which
queued
one
up?
we're starting with. I forget which one he said we're starting with, but I guess Freaky Fridays is gonna be a thing. Which I said, well, that kind of works out because going into October, I like doing that anyway. So,
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah,
yeah.
I forget which one he had us queued up with.
This, so as
But
long as
look,
as long as there's no jumping from boat to boat.
yeah, exactly. There'll be no jumping
Resident
from
Evil
boat to boat.
6.
Yeah, it's like I'm sick of that. There'll be no more of that. But I am ready to get into Gears 2 though, so that'll be cool.
Yep, I finally downloaded it, so I'm
Very
good to
cool.
go.
Yeah, I think I have mine set up. I got to actually make sure it runs, but yeah. So yeah,
So
that's it for me. What about you?
tomorrow, the plan is, and this is tentative start time, approximately 4 o'clock Eastern. We're going to jump into Mystery Quest.
Nice. Very cool.
Right?
Very
Is
cool.
it Mystery Quest?
Yeah. Yeah, Mystery
Okay.
Quest. Yeah, very cool.
Yeah,
I
I'm
liked it.
making sure. I'm like, is that the right name?
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was fun as a kid. I have not gone back and played it since playing it as a kid. So I'm not sure, but yeah, it feels like Super Mario Brothers.
N-
It's good.
I
It's
I
good.
have never seen it, and I'm
Nice.
purposely not looking it up
Very
either
cool.
because
Good, good,
this is
good.
going to be tomorrow will be a blind play of well, I can't
Nice.
say play through because I can't promise
Yeah,
anything.
yeah. I remember it being a longer game for sure.
But this
Yeah.
is at request of Nevermore, a member of our
Very cool.
community.
That'll be awesome.
Uh, brought it up when I was streaming the other day, and I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm like, we'll play it. Let's play it
Nice.
Tuesday.
I like
So
it. I like it.
it'll be a completely blind gaming session because I have never seen it. I don't even, except for you guys describing it, I have no idea what it's about or how it
Nice.
plays.
That's awesome.
So,
That's cool. Yeah, it'll be
so come,
fun. Be a good
yep. So
time.
come in for the fun tomorrow.
Yeah, okay. I want to come see it. It's been a while. It'll be fun seeing it fire up. But
Very cool.
cool.
Very
Awesome,
cool.
man. Well, enjoy it. Have yourself an awesome week. And yeah, stick around for
Yep.
the raid. We will find somebody to go hang out with for sure. So
All right. So everyone have a good rest of your night,
yes,
and
yes.
I will see you later.
Yep. Later.